It's Tuesday night. We're going to talk about what's been going on, man. It's been a crazy week, but you're here. Make sure you hit them likes in the chat if you're watching right now. You're watching Young Lion TV.
Young lion, everywhere I look, they're dying. Everywhere I look, they're dying. Young lion, everywhere I look, they're dying. Everywhere I look, they're dying. Young lion, won't you get up and start fighting? Everywhere I look, they're hiding.
Yes, sir. You're watching Young Lion TV. We are here in the Lion's Den, live on a Tuesday evening, as we always do. So much been going on since last week. We appreciate each and everybody for being here. Make sure you hit that like button. Share this video because, man, when I tell you we are being shadow banned, we are being shadow banned. We're streaming on a lot of different platforms right now. So wherever you're at, man, just write a comment in the chat. Share this video, please, and let's get this algorithm working a little bit better for us. If you want to support what we're doing, we have a Patreon, patreon.com/YoungLionTV, where you can become a member and support the cause so that we can, beat the algorithm a little bit with some funding. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Courtney, who's in there right now. She said happy Tuesday. I never got my notifications. Yeah, we know. That's what everyone.
I didn't get mine
everyone's
either.
saying. I didn't see them either. So
The only one I got was Rumble.
they're not notifying us. But yeah, Rumble. If you're watching on Rumble right now, we appreciate you guys. Please subscribe. So basically, the Young Lions are, anyone who is trying to seek a better understanding on how to live a godly life, a moral life, a communal life. It's based off of Ezekiel 19, something that we wrote a song about, which is called Young Lion. And then we based the whole podcast, the premise around it was just like conversations that we have about life, things that we've discovered, things that we've learned from our travels and our journey. So the podcast is based around that. So anyone who becomes a part of the family, a part of the pride, they become a Young Lion, especially the Patreon members. And the community is growing. Like we get together, we do things, we have shows because we are a band as well. So people come to the shows and we all meet up and it's a good vibe. So if you want to be a part of that, if you want to know more about it, you can check out our Patreon. You can also go to our website, jatan.com, where all of our music and merch is. And if you want to just throw a little donation to the cause, you can hit the Cash App. It's $Young Lion TV on Cash App. But the best thing you can do is really share this video because, the algorithm doesn't share it for us. So we need you guys to share the video for us. But yeah, I got Stan with me today.
What up?
Sitting on the other couch. We waiting for Mr. Build Right to show up. He should be here soon. Yeah, that's his mic. And then I got Moan with me, of course.
What up?
As usual. But yeah, we here. Anything interesting happened throughout the week, guys? Anybody remember anything interesting from last week?
Nothing.
Nothing was going on.
Nothing burger.
Nothing was going on.
Nothing that matters.
Election stuff?
Yeah.
Of course.
Of course, man. The election
A
stuff.
lot of weird things happening.
Oh, let me
Again.
let me shout out my mom though. I almost forgot. My mom's over there producing.
Hey.
Say hi to everybody. Yeah, we got my mom over there. She is holding it down for us on the production.
You can't see it, but she got on Christmas pajamas.
She said she was lounging all day today, so she came here in her pajamas.
Put the camera back on. Put the camera back on you and do that face you just gave me. Mom loves me.
No, but shout out to my mom for helping us out on the production tip. She's really been stepping it up, and we appreciate you. But yeah, man, crazy week. We dealt with all of this election. I mean, have all the votes been counted yet?
I don't think so.
Isn't there a couple places
Yeah,
where they're still
counting.
counting votes?
Arizona's done.
No.
It's
they're
still not done?
Officially, they're still
Well,
counting.
they're
They called it.
They're
They
projecting
yeah, the
Kerry
media
Lake
called it.
losing.
The media called it, yeah.
Yeah, they called it. They called it. Yo, do you guys remember last week before all this happened when I played those clips of Biden's speech and I was like, it's almost like he's setting everybody up
Yeah.
for something.
Yeah, he's,
And I'm like the way he laid it out, where he's like, you know, the way elections work. And then I showed the press secretary talking about like this is just how elections work. Like it's sometimes it takes. And
have it.
we were all saying like, when has that been the case?
It's always election day.
Yeah.
Not election week.
Right.
Buddy.
Unacceptable, man.
So I mean, a lot of people forget, but right around COVID, they took that opportunity to introduce this new way of voting, where it just becomes this mass mail-in thing.
Yeah. It's
Which
the safest way.
Yeah, which has been ripe with fraud from years ago.
Yeah.
And they've known it all along.
There was articles about that. Hey, James
There
is
he
in the
goes.
building.
Yo, good brother James.
There he goes.
He's in there.
All right.
What's up, man?
Everybody?
With that
Going
hat.
on.
You want to switch hats?
Wrong one. Wrong one.
Yeah, you should have a pack over there somewhere. You can just plug in.
Give me it plugged in.
Yeah, but again, like they've been setting the tone, getting people. It's like a slow roll of gaslighting, where it's like, because a lot of people have been playing that clip from, I mean, years ago when they were talking about the 2000 elections with Bush and Gore, where they were like, this is unprecedented, where we didn't know the results of an election the night of the election. That's not supposed to happen in America, you know?
Right.
Yep.
And now all of a sudden it's like they want you to believe that no, this is how
normal.
elections are done.
It's always
normal.
been like this.
It's only been like that recently.
Yeah.
Since
COVID.
COVID.
Yeah.
Since COVID. I mean, it's
the
literally
change.
we're a week out, and some states are still counting.
Yeah.
That's where they were doing all the backdoor deals with, attorneys generals
Yes.
in different states.
Supreme
and-
Court justices,
Yeah.
like state Supreme Court justices, passing these laws where they are allowed to count ballots that are not marked properly, or like they have the system. I know Nevada and Arizona had the system in place where it's like, if a ballot is not filled out properly, they can try to track down the person
Right.
and then get it filled
Cure
out
it.
properly. Cure it, they call it.
Right.
Like this is
Speaking of Nevada, the Kerry Hobbs, I'm not Kerry Hobbs.
Kerry Lake.
Kerry Lake versus Hobbs, right?
Yeah, that's Arizona.
Arizona.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so she didn't want to debate,
Right.
all right? But she's winning.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Bro, but
She
isn't
took
that
the Joe Biden
think
approach.
that's exactly he
Yeah.
said they took the playbook from 2020.
Of course.
Because think about it, Biden did one debate, right? And or did he do two?
Two.
He did two debates, but the rest of the campaign he hid.
He didn't campaign
Remember,
at all.
they're calling a lid. He's staying in the basement. He's not doing no interviews.
Right.
You know, and what was Katie Hobbs the whole time was saying, I don't want to debate, blah, blah, blah. We don't know. There's no point in debating.
Yeah, I'm gonna let her just dig
Yeah.
her own grave.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
public doesn't know her stance.
They
But
don't
boy,
right.
they love her.
Yeah.
They love her. Somehow they know to love her.
But it also opens up the opportunity for mass ballot harvesting as well.
Of course, yeah.
Because most of these locations where the mail-in votes are like taking forever to count in it's these heavily densely populated places like cities, urban centers, where they can just go around collecting ballots for people.
Right.
You know what I mean? Some places it's not illegal to do that.
Right.
They were saying like it was like 80% of it was like mail in.
Yeah. In Arizona.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, because so when they showed this, like, this is the record turnout for 18 to 30 voters ever. You know what I mean? It's like because of mail-in votes.
Yeah, yeah.
Like they
'Cause,
even Sunny admitted it on The View
On
that
The
she
View, yeah.
voted for her son.
Voted for my
She
son.
admitted it.
Yeah. Because
Maybe
there's
she
never been
meant,
a
like-
time. Go ahead, sorry.
I'm sorry,
No.
but maybe I'll watch it. Maybe she meant handing it in for her son.
But this is what I'm saying. But this is what I'm saying.
was-
But this is what I'm saying. So, historically and notoriously, the young vote has been light because young people are lazy and don't care about voting, and they don't want to do the bare minimum work it takes to. We all been
Right.
there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
I mean, even now, like when I went to go vote, it was all
Right.
older people.
So
and
what
it
I'm-
was packed.
But
too,
what I'm
6
saying
o'clock in
is,
the morning.
so what that does is it takes that out of the equation, and now it makes it easier for parents to basically harvest all their kids' votes and then turn them in for them.
I'll
Where
take care
and
of the voting
even
for
even
you.
fill them out if
Yeah,
they
yeah,
want to.
if they want
Yeah.
to.
If you can just get them to
yeah.
sign it,
Oh, you know, Sonny.
quote unquote, like who's really gonna wait for their kids to come around and sign the thing? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, come on, let's be real. Like, what does
Yeah.
it do? It
You're
opens
right.
up the opportunity for you to pack the ballot box with
Yeah.
votes from your whole family in the direction you want it to go.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And when you look at
Lots of
this,
cheating.
when you look at this, let me bring this up. Bring this up, please, Mom. Look at this little chart that I saw. I don't know if you guys saw this. This is gender by marital status voters. So there's one of these things that's not like the other. Can you guys make that out?
I can't see it.
You can't see it? Let's see if I make it bigger.
A little blurry.
Can you see that?
Marital.
So these are the broken down demographics for how people voted. The top is Democrat, the bottom is Republican.
Oh yeah, I've
So-
seen that.
So married men across the board, 39% Democrat, 59% Republican. Married women, 42% Democrat, 56% Republican. Unmarried men, 45% Democrat, 52% Republican. Still kind of comparable. And now let me get to the unmarried women, aka modern feminists, aka
Yeah.
you know, Fetterman voters.
Yeah.
68% Democrat, 31%
Well, they placated
Republican.
to them, so they're bought into it.
Right. Who did they keep going after with women's rights and my body, my choice?
But
Like,
you never believe anything. These might be wrong too. They change stuff.
I mean, they could be, but what I'm saying is this is an exit poll based off of 18,571 people.
Yeah.
So these are a little more accurate because you get people as they're leaving.
Yeah, well, to me, like when you hear record turnout for young people, they've been saying that now for months because
Yeah.
they're prepping people that when these vote, oh my God, it was a record turnout.
Right.
The young people are tired.
Yeah.
They're because it's all mailer voting
Yes,
fraud. So
exactly.
they're prepping you to believe that the young people, oh my gosh,
They're
it's-
energized.
They put down the TikTok videos.
Yeah.
And they went out, they were frustrated.
And they usually they put down TikTok and
And this
utilize
doesn't
the
make-
mail.
Yeah, this doesn't. yes.
Like, well, where does
We
that
could
add
we
up
could
at?
barely get them to drive Amazon
Right.
trucks,
Right.
you know,
Right.
and work.
Right.
You know, we could barely get people to work. Everybody's complaining that there's no workers, but that
Right.
they were passionate.
Right.
The passion.
Meanwhile, that young dude that had to work the 4-hour shift at Starbucks is crying in
It's
the back
crying.
room.
That's a lady, sir.
Oh, excuse me. No, it's a identifies as a boy. Remember? Because he
well,
kept
you
getting misgendered, and he's
can
like, "Oh, he had a
identify-
beard and everything."
You can identify all you want. No, they were prepping us for they're prepping people for a
Yeah.
while.
It's not normal. Yeah.
Yeah, 'cause
Yeah.
They we believe that the young people are going to turn out.
Yeah.
They're prepping you.
Yep.
You know, and that's all that was. You know, and they knew that's why Katie Hobbs was worried.
That's why a lot of
Yeah.
them aren't worried.
She was like, you know, Stacey Abrams is a little too confident.
No, they let her down, boy. She thought she had that one.
No,
bro.
the black male vote.
Yeah.
They're already going after them.
Yeah,
Like,
it's black men's fault.
Roland Martin is going crazy.
Get your asses to the porch.
Well, they pulled in Creflo dollars. So.
Right.
Roland Martin with his daishiki shirts he always wears. Like, dude, come on,
Right.
Bruh.
you too on the nose, bro.
Yeah.
Like, stop
He
it.
is trying hard, man.
I haven't watched Roland in a while, man.
Well,
Is
she
he
had
still
something
up
called
to it?
the Black Male Initiative.
Yes.
And they read through it.
Dude.
Hey, it mentioned nothing about no black male. It said
We
minority.
should have played that on here because
Oh, I didn't know.
because last week we were talking about, you weren't here, but we were talking about how she was basically coming out and saying, like, if I don't win, it's because of black men.
Yeah.
And the pundits on like MSNBC
Yeah,
were backing
Al
her
Sharpton,
up. Yeah.
yeah, Roland,
Joy Reid, who's the
yeah.
other one that got fired.
Yeah.
Basically saying that like black men are easily confused.
Right,
You know what I mean?
right,
Like
and corrupted.
by the narratives of the news media.
Right.
Okay.
Well, I told you that years ago. Well, not years ago, but a couple of years ago, I'll say. I told you that I started seeing these conspiracy black guys
Yeah, yeah.
in the movies, but they were idiots.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
They were putting that narrative
there was
in
a
there.
seed,
yeah,
there's
yeah.
the conspiracy
Right,
black
right,
guy.
right.
He's an idiot. You know what I
Right.
mean? He's like
Black
stupid.
women are so much smarter and
He,
educated.
he's working at a warehouse, but
Yeah.
he has all the like tropes of like a Alex Jones
Mm-hmm.
or like whomever they find and they want to kind of demonize, and he represents that. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Well, that's how they're pinning Herschel Walker.
Right,
Yeah,
right, right. Well,
yeah.
Conspiracy idiot.
I
best
mean,
example.
Herschel Walker
doesn't
has a
sound the
tendency
best,
to
Right.
embarrass black men a little
Right,
bit.
Herschel? Not a good idea to pay for that
CTE
on
is
the
a real
side.
thing. It's like if 20 years from now Antonio Brown wants to run for office.
Yeah. See, now that, for me, that's the whole thing about like. Listen, here's the deal. I am a conservative, but don't give me that.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna do. I can't do what the Democrats do with Fetterman.
Yeah.
Pretend like nothing's wrong here.
Yeah, yeah.
I like him.
Yeah.
Speak perfect and everything.
Right.
I'm not gonna do that.
The
You know what I
same
mean?
thing we said about what's his name? Dr. Oz.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, yeah.
like he's not as bad because he can speak,
Right.
but
Right. But we know what it is.
we know what he is.
We know what he's
Yeah.
doing. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So yeah, it's not that. I think people get confused because when you say you have conservative, they think you believe you're wholeheartedly into the conservative
whatever.
party.
Right.
So no matter
Yeah.
what they say, you're with them, and that's not true at all. You know,
Yeah.
we believe in a free democracy, America. We believe in that, but we also as believers and Christians, we have to uphold certain things. We're just not going to side along with you because
Yeah.
you
Just because you're black and
yeah
you're
no, or you vote like us, or you no.
Republican.
Because look at, like I said, look at the black church. You know, in a sense, they've invited all of these. They're not even saying to their congregation is okay. This Sunday we're gonna have a Democrat governor come in, and
Yeah.
next Sunday we'll have a Republican governor.
Right.
They're straight up bringing in one party.
Yeah.
Right.
Without
Yeah, we
any.
were just talking about
Right. So that
Creflo
tells
Dollar.
me you're biased.
And you're bringing in the party that you're bringing in people that are outwardly in complete contrast to
Yes.
what you say you believe.
Yeah.
in.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
They
Right.
fly in direct opposition.
Yes.
To
I would have more respect for a pastor who said, listen, this is voting season. I'm going to tell you where the Bible ties in our principles, our morals.
Right.
But we live in a two-party system. I'll bring in both, and here's their stance, and we can have. But once they say that, they're not coming.
Oh no.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh no.
because then
But
you're
dude,
giving
like-
the people the choice.
Yeah, we talked about Stacey Abrams and Creflo Dollar. Like
Yeah.
this lady literally says
Right.
that's not a baby.
Right.
And you
You
should
know,
be
and
able
there's
to
no-
abort it whenever you want.
There's no such thing as a heartbeat.
Yeah.
Right. Creflo also said, I was wrong for 30 years about tithing.
Yeah.
Burn everything.
Burn everything I said.
Hey, Creflo, you're going to give that plane and the Bentley and the big house
yeah,
back.
right.
Extend the Thank you, James.
I
Shut
wasn't
up.
talking about that, sir.
So speaking of Fetterman who can barely put a full sentence together, barely could he got a big victory in
course.
Pennsylvania. We're all supposed to believe that all of
It
those
was
people
against-
out there in PA just
Yes.
want that guy
Yeah.
to represent them in the
Upper
Senate.
Darby.
Yeah,
It was against Oz.
Allentown.
bro, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Like I think it has a lot to do with the fact that like they're just banking on the fact that people are low information. They're
Yeah.
just gonna vote for. I think most people still don't even know who Fetterman is. Don't know he had a stroke.
Right.
Most of the people that voted for him,
Didn't
they just
watch
know
the debate.
Obama said vote for him. Oprah said vote for him. I'm gonna vote for him.
I'm a
Yeah.
Democrat.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah.
I gotta vote
Yeah.
for him.
And
Right.
and the commercials that they show, he's actually doesn't sound like he
Right,
he
right.
can't speak.
But
Yeah.
that
I
was,
mean, he wearing a hoodie, yo.
but that was the
We all
weirdest
got
thing.
it.
Did you see that video I sent with all the flags fell?
Yeah.
When he said
Yeah.
he talked about Trump and it was still up, and then when he talked about him and
Yeah.
they all fell.
Yeah.
That was the weirdest
I was
thing.
gonna play that video last week, but we had too much. But yeah, it was like a ominous like.
Yeah, it was
Courtney
weird.
said because she's in PA, she was like, we do not want him in PA.
I know that. I know that's right.
But on a on a serious note, what's sad to me is what we have degenerated to politically. Because listen, aside from the fact that he suffered the stroke, let that man go be with his family.
Yeah.
Pull out the race, put somebody in within your party that's more capable. Because we don't know. Like a stroke is it could be something that's for life.
Yeah.
Or it could be it could happen again. So
But
to me,
this is what I think. I think they want people like that put in office
Because they just want a rubber stamp.
they yeah, exactly. They need someone who's just like, because Stan showed me a picture before we started of, it was like first day in office. See if you can send that to me. And the picture is mainly of his wife. He's like cut off in the picture. His wife is like standing there in
well,
front
he's
of
like 6'9".
no. I'm talking about, you got to see it
like sleeping.
Like it looks like she just got elected, bro.
Right.
But this is what they want. They want someone that's in office that they can just tell what to do. I mean, this is what they have in the presidency right now. You know
Well,
what I
that's
mean?
sad. That's sad that we've degenerated to that.
Yeah.
Where it doesn't even matter if this person's incoherent or they're not healthy. We just want to win.
Yes.
You know what I mean? It's really sad. That
I mean,
we
that's
turned to-
obvious. Dude, there was an article in the 2020 election that said, Joe Biden, please don't die. All we need is your corporeal form
Was
in
it
the
the same
White
guy
House.
who said we need those vax by Fauci? The same song?
Probably. Probably.
Another hit.
But then look at this. We got the mainstream, media,
The clown show.
the mental institution, MSNBC, telling us,
I know there's some variables, obviously, but
listen to this.
Fetterman as a nominee at some point for president. I know there's some variables, obviously, but just a few. But I just, what he did in the super red, deep red parts of Pennsylvania, and the way that he ran ahead of Biden, as you were saying, ran ahead of Trump. I mean, it just makes you wonder about his future. Fetterman as a
They're actually kicking around the idea of Fetterman being the 2024 nominee.
She
for
was
president.
backstage and she read. She's like, guys, do I have to say this? I guess.
Dude, I think she really, she looked
They
like
don't even
the rest
ask.
of them were kind of like, no. She was like, what, really, guys? Come on, guys.
Nail it.
Like really pushing that, trying to push that idea out there. And then said the way that he got more votes than Biden and Trump in these red areas in PA, which also is interesting.
Right.
He got even more votes than Biden did. People were showing how in the Carrie Lake election, she got less votes than the person running for treasurer.
Yeah. The Republican running for treasurer.
Yes.
Right.
Got more
Got
votes than her.
than her.
Right.
But that's just, them backdoors and that computer
Yeah.
system.
Yeah, and we were showing those clips last week of all those voting machines that weren't working in Maricopa County, all those counties out there that took forever to count. Where they were telling people that, just fill it out and put it in the box.
Yeah.
And then some people were saying that they found. I saw a news article that was saying that they found out that those ballots were getting mixed in with the counted ballots already. So it was like they didn't count those.
Because they had like a third slot to put it in.
Yes.
Or something like that if you were there to vote and then the machine went down.
So if you put it in the same box, it was saying that this ballot's already been counted. So it's just a lot of shenanigans, bro.
Yeah.
A lot of shenanigans.
But it's like, okay, who did it right? Florida.
And what did they do?
Fix the
paper
got rid of
ballots.
mail-in,
Paper ballots. No mail-in voting.
ballots.
You know what I'm saying? None of that.
Got a police force
Fix
that
their
enforces
elections.
fraud.
Yeah. And what happened?
Same night.
Same
Election
night.
night.
We knew. No, not even same night, bro. We knew in like 3 hours because he was so far ahead.
Right.
And then
Was Gillum there?
Gillum's long gone,
Gillum's
man.
on a boat.
He's on a binge right
Gillum's
now.
on a boat.
Yeah.
Do a line.
Yeah.
On a boat
I
with
can't
who?
find that picture, man.
Yeah, it's all right.
Post it.
So then they were talking to Biden right after the midterms and talking about how a lot has been going wrong and the approval ratings down, and it's lucky that, because when you look at it technically, the Republicans still took a major win because they are going to win the House and control that. So that's a win for the midterms. But because it was propped up as going to be this huge slaughtering that never happened.
Red wave.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It feels
all
like
of the
a
polls
loss.
were wrong
Yeah.
on that one. Even Trafalgar
Yeah.
got it wrong.
Yeah. But, so they asked Biden, what are you going to do to basically do better? And let's just watch his response.
What in the next 2 years do you intend to do differently to change people's opinion of the direction of the country, particularly as you contemplate a run for president in 2024?
Nothing,
Oh my gosh.
Exactly.
Bro, he literally
What are you gonna
says
do different?
nothing. Nothing.
Unbelievable.
Nothing, bro. Because
they
why?
don't
Why?
care.
Why would I do anything different?
Yeah, it's working out perfect for
Yeah.
him and his cohorts.
Yeah. Like they're sending billions of dollars to Ukraine, getting that money funnel. We're finding out getting that money funnel right back to the Democratic Party through this FTX crypto company. That we're going to talk about that later. I don't know if you guys are aware of that story, but like it's crazy, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Speaking of Ukraine, you see Sean Penn went to give
Oh my god,
his
dude.
Oscar
Oh my
to
God.
Yeah, I sent it to you guys.
Yeah, you said that.
said
Yeah.
I didn't see it.
Yeah.
I just saw it, browsing. But
Here you go. Good luck with that.
Yeah. Yeah.
what is
Yeah, right.
what is he good? To
As
me,
they cross the
to me,
border.
that isn't
Yeah.
that like so much virtue signaling.
It's a symbolic gesture.
want you.
Missile. Who needs that?
piece of me with you.
Let me fix this camera. So
What
I
happened?
was cutting Moan off.
It's okay.
Yo, who? So what happened?
I don't mind.
Sean Penn
He
what?
went to give his.
Oscar to what's his name? Zelensky.
Zelensky, yeah.
Oh my god. Oh, I didn't know that.
Like for what?
Jamie, can you grab me something in there, please?
What you want?
Whatever.
Porter.
Excuse me.
We got a sunset wheat. We got a peach. And we got a lemon hazy.
I'll do the lemon.
Emma's watching from Texas.
Yeah.
Well, what up, Emma?
What up, bro?
Oh yeah. Okay, I remember that.
Problem solved.
Yeah,
Emma's out there in Texas,
Rest well tonight.
that's what you.
where people's votes actually are still counting,
That's
man.
what you were missing. Oh, out there in Texas too.
Yeah.
He just declared a national emergency
Oh, did he for what?
for border crossing.
Oh, I
Abbott.
did. Yeah, you're right. I
Abbott.
saw that.
So,
That's right. They still sending people too. They still
about to
busting
shut
them up.
down. Yeah, they about to shut that border
Bust
down.
them up.
Yeah. Shout out to Emma, man. Oh, Emma, man. Make sure you hit that like button, share the video, please, brother, because people aren't seeing it. Yeah, so Biden's going to do nothing. Nothing different. Nothing needs to change. He's doing a great job.
Yeah.
He's been doing a great job of doing nothing.
Yeah,
His whole half
Same
a
thing
decade
now.
that he's been.
I
in
think that was
office.
the easiest thing to say. Nothing.
yeah, it's the
Because
truth.
he doesn't want to speak, because then he's going to mess everything
Oh,
up.
he wants to
No,
speak.
He was right. He's like, this is actually working.
He is telling the truth. He's
He,
doing
he has no
nothing.
no problem trying to speak. It's just what comes out is the problem. So then he made this statement about Trump running in 2024. He's supposed to be making an announcement tonight
Yeah,
around
it's
9
9
o'clock. We'll
o'clock.
see what
We'll
happens
see.
with that.
You got a live
10
thing
minutes.
going anywhere?
10 minutes, guys.
I'll look for it. I'll look for it.
Have to demonstrate that he will not take power by if he does run, making sure he, under legitimate efforts of our Constitution, does not become the next president again.
What?
What does that sound like? What does that sound
They're
like,
gonna
dude?
change
Have to
something in the
demonstrate that he will
Constitution.
not take power by if he does run, making sure he, under legitimate efforts of our Constitution, does not become the next president again.
Do you guys feel that we should have an age limit? Just like we have a prerequisite for them starting. I think 35, right?
Yeah,
But then after that,
To run for president?
there should be a cap on the age. I think so.
Yeah.
I think that we could benefit from that.
That
think that
term
makes sense.
limits.
Yeah.
but they'll
term limits, but not just. I'm just talking about
You're-
president. Yes, but I'm talking about just
Also,
servicing
Senate,
Yes,
House
yes.
members.
like,
Yeah,
like
You can't be there
Pelosi.
for life. Or,
yeah, yeah, man. I think
Definitely term, but like what would be, because everybody aged differently.
Yeah.
Look at the difference between Trump and this guy.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but still, like I think that like he's right. Like if you put that cap on it, it just eliminates.
Yeah, because everybody's gonna try and be, my guy is special.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Everybody, you know.
Right.
But what would be the cap though? Like
I think retirement age when whatever that is, like
or maybe
65.
70. Like put a cap on it at 70. Like you have to retire from public office. You know?
I think so.
Like you
I
have,
think Why?
you have to.
Yeah. I mean,
No,
we
you
don't. We're not gonna have 70-year-old police officers chasing criminals.
Right.
I mean, I know it's a different thing. I'm just saying that we get the physical aspect that if you were a 70-year-old cop, you can't be out there.
Yeah.
But then there is the mental thing, and everybody's gonna be like, I'm special, I'm different. But what if you're not? What if you've been prepped because a lot of these people, they're prepped. They have a team. They have certain things. There's certain assistant. It isn't like Fetterman was reading off that thing.
Yeah.
Him.
What's he gonna? This is what I'm thinking. Like, what's he gonna do in the Senate? Is he gonna have to have everything translated through that
On the
software?
screen, yeah.
Like,
Probably.
this
I
is-
mean, that's if they
Or
go back
his
to
second in
normal.
command.
Yeah.
They might make, you know what I mean?
Because
But
they
I-
used to debate.
he
Right.
just
Now
send
they
his
don't.
wife in there for him.
I got this.
That's what
Yeah.
she wants.
Yep, stay home.
But I'm saying, I think if we had a limit for this,
Yeah.
right? Like changing the trajectory of politics and what it has been to now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And I think it would eliminate the ability for you to be a lifer. You know,
Yeah.
you have to get things done in a certain amount of time.
Yeah.
You have to be effective with your time you serve in office.
Right.
You know, and I think there should be laws against you getting a job at a corporation, sitting on the board of a corporation that you also got money from while you were in office,
I
that
think
you
so.
passed regulations and laws for.
And that has been going on.
Oh,
Yeah.
clearly.
I mean, nobody thinks it's suspicious that all these people are multimillionaires. Nancy Pelosi is worth $100+ million.
yeah.
Like, I mean, she's making $100 and some $1,000 a year. I mean, you're doing well, but
Not enough for AOC. She wants a raise. She tried to
Right.
vote for a raise for the
right. Well, she could write scripts about her fake invasion. And I was there.
right.
No, I think we. I mean, unfortunately, because we have the two-party system, we're kind of locked into both.
Yeah.
and that's another
Because
thing
the
that
Republicans
sucks.
do it too.
Yeah.
It's not just the Democrats doing this. Republicans do serve, but then they go on to sit on chair and
Yeah.
boards and stuff like that. They do it.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
They become
I think that-
advisors, NGOs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. They go work for certain places, and that's what it is. Or they give out lectures. I think the only time we came close to a three-party system was with Ross Perot.
Yeah.
There was a lot of people that
Yeah.
was really,
But they were able to squash that so easily.
well, actually, the Democrats and Republicans got together and
They did.
and that.
Yeah, that's all they got to do. They know that.
Right.
You think about who was running against each other at that time.
Right.
You know they're both on the same team.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I'm
That's
saying?
true.
Like, it's crazy.
But I think that coming from an elderly person as I am,
Yes.
I don't think 70. I think it should be at least 75.
75. Okay.
'Cause
5
I'm-
more years.
Because I'm close to 70, so to me
Yeah.
that seems like I can't see.
Yeah,
that.
but it's
No,
like,
no.
but you're retired though, Mom,
Yeah.
right?
right.
So
Right.
was
But I'm
so
retired. But I'm talking about
yeah. So someone
Right.
serving in public office, maybe they should. You're talking about 4 more years than where you retired at. So someone in public office, that gives you 5 more years to get the last things you need to get done, and then get out of the way. Get out of the way.
No.
Get your
Yes,
out the way.
I understand people feeling a certain way, but the stress of the presidency and the stress of that, right?
Ages you.
And like I said, it does. But here's the thing, right? When we start making those kind of steps and not setting a limit, then everybody's gonna feel that their particular guy he's the guy.
yeah. Well, I'm not saying 80.
No, not
I'm
80.
saying- right.
But I think retirement age,
Yeah.
when you're retired,
Mm-hmm.
because all right, well then how about a 25-year-old begin to be president? Why not a 25?
Nope.
I mean, he or she could be a genius. I'd love, you know what I mean. But there is a limit, for them. But as far as how old you can be, there's no limit. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
I
because
think
Trump is what 78 or something like that.
Yeah, he's like 76,
yeah.
77, something
Yeah.
like
So
that.
once he runs again, he'll be.
I prefer
78.
DeSantis over him.
Yeah.
You know?
A lot of people do.
Yeah, and they're causing a division because of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, they shouldn't.
Oh wow, yeah. He's a big dude.
Trump should. So I think somebody cropped that picture.
Oh, okay.
I found the original.
Okay.
So they cropped it so he's a little bit. The screen cuts off here, so it looks like she's the focus of it,
Oh,
and
okay.
he's like the sideshow.
Oh, that's his wife?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she's the one that's gonna be running things.
I'm running things. Cream cone.
Let me see if I can find a live feed of what this announcement.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, man, but it's just watching all this play out over the last week and seeing how much they've changed everything, the whole process, how much they've used, like, because you can't say, we don't know for sure. I'm sure there is elements of fraud and elements of cheating involved, but I'm saying like they've literally manipulated the system that we have in place to open up a way for them to flood the votes,
Right.
you know, with disinterested voters. Like even people that would not normally vote
Right.
they could just you know mass count those votes.
Yeah.
It was like a purple wave. This one, that one, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But mostly blue.
Republicans, they
This person,
won.
they're not going to be
Congress
allowed to have a
right
voice.
now. I
You want me to
think
put that on?
it's like
Jimmy?
217 to 203. So
I have it up, but we'll put it on when he comes out.
Okay.
Right now, it's I got it up on Timcast IRL. They got it up live. Yeah, but you guys hear about the missiles hitting Poland today?
Yeah. Two
Yes.
people died.
2 people died. I got a lot of people talking about false flag, talking about how because it seemed that Russia was kind of like pulling out over the last few weeks and kind of like pulling back, that in order for because a lot of people were saying the strategy is to freeze them out over the winter. They hit a lot of places in Ukraine, but over the winter they're gonna have to face the harsh weather. So the only way for them to continue to get aid is to have some escalation. You know what I mean? So how better, you know, who does it benefit? It's like the Gulf of Tonkin, you know, episode.
Oh, Jamie,
Yes, Mom.
we never said why Jake isn't here.
Oh yeah, you're right, Mom. You're right. Shout out to Jake, man. It's Jake's birthday today.
Happy birthday,
Jake!
Jake's birthday. He's turning the big, what is he, 43? 43 years old. My big brother. He's hanging out with his wife tonight for his birthday. So we appreciate you. We love you, man. Happy birthday.
Yes, sir.
And we're going to try to hold it down.
Enjoy.
Yeah.
Hopefully you guys are out eating some good food.
Yeah. We're going to hold this down.
I hope his food comes out on time.
So
that's the new slush fund is Ukraine. So
yeah.
I'm not sure they can cut that off so fast.
Yeah, that's why
They
they
need more
but they need
drama
a
over
reason
there.
to get people on board
Yeah.
with us sending tax dollars there.
Yeah.
You know. So if you make it seem like Russia's going crazy, escalating,
Right.
you know, attacking, now they're reaching into Poland now. It's
Yeah.
like, okay.
Meanwhile, we have state of emergency in Texas with border stuff.
Yeah.
Right.
You know,
Yeah. And that we don't have money for that though.
and the homeless problem on the West Coast.
Yeah.
And didn't a storm just hit Florida, damage some major road, and like
Yeah.
3 days later it was back up?
Yep.
running? It's like,
Yep. Yep. I mean,
Handling
look
problems,
how
man.
that hurricane got handled.
Yeah.
You know, like they built a bridge to
Yeah.
allow travel back in for goods and supplies.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because a whole bridge was destroyed. Let's see what's going on here. Looks like
Exactly.
Hours.
Most of the
views.
views are in the first 24 hours. So that's how they get you. That's how they hit you again. So
still
signing up
waiting,
to
still waiting for this guy to take the stage, see what he's about to
You know
say.
you're gonna be late.
Yeah.
Got to be late.
You know, he's gonna be it's gonna be a big news. Everyone's gonna be very, very happy.
Big news.
Did you guys see Anna Navarro saying that DeSantis won because he cheated
No. Really?
on The View? Yeah, she said that's what she said. It's like, wait a minute.
How did he cheat?
I thought because he I can't remember her exact words. Let me see if I can find it. Yeah, something about him rigging the system.
Me no like it. That
You mean taking the illegal ways to vote out?
Not allowing
he
the
rigged
not,
the
not
system.
allowing fraud to happen.
Yeah.
That's rigging the system. You're not letting us cheat.
Right.
these
Newsmax has him.
Yeah, I have it right here.
Oh, okay.
The
Trump
most
is out already.
I don't know. I'm just saying. I'm just.
They're the most annoying group of women.
The TV show.
Oh my
The
God! I
View.
never watched them ever.
Yeah.
Navarro, Sonny,
Yeah.
Whoopi,
Joy.
and Joy.
Yeah. That is
Wow.
the Avengers of annoying women.
They're just playing a role, though. I don't think they really even believe it. I think they have to. Play
I don't
a
know,
role.
bro.
I
No,
think
'cause
they
as
do.
mad as
I
they
think that-
get
I think
sometimes,
they
it's
believe
like
it.
crazy
so?
mad.
I think
think
they
so.
do.
I think they get a nice paycheck to fall into that role.
I think they get a nice paycheck to spout off
Yeah.
the dumb stuff that they've been told is true.
Right.
Yeah.
I think they really do believe it, though. You know what I mean? Like,
I mean, I agree to a point, but I feel like in this country, because we worship the mighty dollar so much, people can be bought and sold into changing or altering who they are just for a paycheck, just to live in the city, just to have access to
oh
money.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
That-
They'll do that.
that is definitely
You know what I mean?
something that happens.
What was Trump's son that was on there? Not Eric. It was the other one.
Don Jr.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh my God. They wanted to jump on top of him and kill
Oh
him.
yeah, when they went on there.
That's how they were with Ted Cruz too, though.
He
Oh,
held
my
his own,
God.
though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same thing with
First thing he's gonna say is like, "They stole it from me." No, let's hear it. I'm excited for this, guys. This is gonna be an awesome next couple of
Want me
years.
to put it up?
I'm really excited.
Yeah,
for
you
this.
can pull it up.
I know I'm free. Hey, I had to sing that
You know, like
song,
the
guys.
whole song.
When I was
I remember that.
gave
Yeah, how does
life
that work?
We need a WWE.
Let me find a different one because I don't want to hear their
Lee
commentary.
Greenwood,
I'm already.
paid,
There you
yo.
go. We don't need to hear the music.
No more. Lee Greenwood's over there going dollar bills, y'all.
and defend her till this day.
Here we go.
Here we go.
Thank you very much. And on behalf of Melania, myself, and our entire family, I want to thank you all for being here tonight. It's a very special occasion at a very special place. You and all of those watching are the heart and soul of this incredible movement and the greatest country in the history of the world. It's very simple. There's never been
It's very
anything
simple.
like it. This great movement of ours, never been anything like it, and perhaps there will never be anything like it again. There's never been anything to compete with what we have all done. Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, and my fellow citizens, America's comeback
What'd you say?
starts
He
right
filed
now.
for the president.
Oh, okay.
He said America's comeback starts right now.
2 years ago, when I left office, the United States stood ready for its golden age. Our nation was at the pinnacle of power, prosperity, and prestige, towering above all rivals, vanquishing all enemies, and striding into the future, confident and so strong. In 4 short years, everybody was doing great. Men, women, African Americans, Asian Americans, Hispanic Americans, everybody was thriving like never before. There was never a time like this. We turned the page on decades of globalist sellouts and one-sided trade deals, lifted millions out of poverty, and together we built the greatest economy in the history of the world. When the virus hit our shores, I took decisive action and saved lives and the U.S. economy. And by October of the same year,
Destroyed the
America
economy,
was
dude.
roaring
What are you
back
talking
with the
about?
#1 fastest economic recovery ever recorded. How about that? All of the incoming administration and all they had to do was just sit back and watch. Inflation was non-existent. Our southern border was by far the strongest ever. And because the border was so tight, drugs were coming into our country at the lowest level in many, many years. Importantly, after decades of rising energy costs, the United States had finally attained the impossible dream of American energy independence, which soon would have turned into energy dominance. For the first time in memory, China was reeling and back on its heels. You've never seen that before, because the United States was outdoing them on every single front, and China was paying billions and billions of dollars in taxes and tariffs. The farmers know that because they got 28 billion of it. No president had ever sought or received $1 for our country from China until I came along, and we were getting hundreds of billions of dollars. Many people think that because of this, China played a very active role in the 2020 election. Just saying, just saying.
Just saying.
Sure, that didn't happen. Instead of jobs and factories leaving America for China, they were, for the first time ever, leaving China for America.
China.
China.
Businesses were pouring back because of our historic tax and regulation cuts, the biggest in both categories in history, bigger even than what Ronald Reagan was able to produce, and he produced a lot. China, Russia, Iran, and North Korea were in check and respected. They respected the United States, and quite honestly, they respected me. I knew them well. I knew them well. The vicious ISIS caliphate, which no president was able to conquer, was decimated by me and our great warriors in less than 3 weeks, and al-Baghdadi, its founder, was hunted down and killed. North Korea had not launched a single long-range missile since my summit with Chairman Kim Jong-un nearly 3 years before. We developed a relationship, and that's a good thing, not a bad thing. It's a good thing. Very good thing, actually, because look at what's happening today. My opponents made me out to be a warmonger and just a terrible person who would immediately go into war. They said during the 2016 campaign
they keep
that
saying
if he
that.
becomes
World War
president,
III.
there will never be a
And now
war
look,
within
who's at
weeks.
war?
And we will have wars like you've never seen before. It will happen immediately, and yet I've gone decades without a war, the first president to do it for that long a period.
Decades? What is he talking about? Bro, you weren't in office for decades.
They're going to use that.
They're going, you
was
know
at
that
peace.
that's going to be a clip.
America was prospering, and our country was on
So far,
track
that and the
for
China thing.
an amazing future, because I made big promises to the American people, and unlike other presidents, I kept my promises.
They're allowed to say Russia interfered, but you can't say China.
Right. They're going to say he's still pushing election denial.
Yeah. Even Dave Chappelle said in his skit that Russia colluded with Trump.
Thank you very much.
He has to. He had to bring him
Under
back.
our leadership, we were
It's
a
like
great
I crap
and
on the Jews a little
glorious
bit and then
nation,
talk about
something you haven't heard for quite a long period of time. We were a strong nation, and importantly, we were a free nation. But now we are a nation in decline. We are a failing nation. For millions of Americans,
He said, "Do you want
the
something
past
healthier?"
2 years under Joe
No, he was
Biden
looking at them like, I don't know if I
a
want.
time of pain, hardship, anxiety, and despair. As we
Like,
speak,
we got to go
inflation
through
is
this
the
whole
highest in
rigmarole
over
for him to
50
just be
years.
like, I'm running
yeah.
for president.
The
Like, we
highest
know what you're
levels
about to
in
say,
history,
bruh.
and expect them to go much higher now that the strategic national reserves, which I filled up, have been virtually drained in order to keep gasoline prices lower just prior to the election. Joe Biden has intentionally surrendered our energy independence. There is no longer even a thought of dominance, and we are now begging for energy help from foreign nations, many of whom find us detestable. Our southern border has been erased, and our country is being invaded by millions and millions of unknown people, many of whom are entering for a very bad and sinister reason. And you know what that reason is. We will be paying a big price for this invasion into our country for years to come. Hundreds of thousands of pounds of deadly drugs, including very lethal fentanyl, are flooding across the now open and totally porous southern border. The blood-soaked streets of our once great cities are cesspools of violent crimes, which are being watched all over the world as leadership of other countries explain that this is what America and democracy is really all about. How sad. The United States has been embarrassed, humiliated, and weakened for all to see. The disasters in Afghanistan, perhaps the most embarrassing moment in the history of our country, where we lost lives, left Americans behind, and surrendered $85 billion worth of the finest military equipment anywhere in the world. And Ukraine, which would have never happened if I were your president, are something and even the Democrats admit that. That's something I've seen them admit over and over again. But our enemies are speaking of us with scorn and laughter and derision because of those two events. But there are many more. Even just today, a missile was sent in, probably by Russia, to Poland, 50 miles into Poland, and people are going absolutely wild and crazy, and they're not happy. They are very, very angry. Now we have a president who falls asleep at global conferences, was held in contempt by the British Parliament over Afghanistan. Thanks to the words of wisdom, he said thank you to the wrong country for inviting him to a major summit on the environment, of all things. They fly for days to get there, and then he calls the country a name that was actually a country on another continent. And he's leading us to the brink of nuclear war, a concept unimaginable just
Guarantee you none
two
of the
short years ago.
CNN, MSNBC,
Cannot
they're not
mention
playing
the
this right
nuclear
now.
war. It's too devastating. The Green New Deal and the environment, which they say may affect us in 300 years, is all that is talked about, and yet nuclear weapons, which would destroy the world immediately, are never even discussed as a major threat. Can you imagine? They say the ocean will rise 1/8 of an inch over the next 200 to 300 years. But don't worry about nuclear weapons that can take out entire countries with one shot. Something is wrong with their thinking. Under Biden and the radical Democrats, America has been mocked, derided, and brought to its knees, perhaps like never before. But we are here tonight to declare that it does not have to be this way. It does not have to be this way. Two years ago, we were a great nation, and soon we will be a great nation again. The decline of America is being forced upon us by Biden and the radical left lunatics running our government right into the ground. This decline is not a fate we must accept. When given the choice, boldly, clearly, and directly, I believe the American people will overwhelmingly reject the left's platform of national ruin, and they will embrace our platform of national greatness and glory to America. Glory. Exactly 1 week ago, our citizens voted in the important midterm elections, and despite a ridiculously long and unnecessary period of waiting, far longer, in fact, than any third world country, just a short time ago, the Republicans won back control of the House of Representatives. And it was with a great Trump-endorsed candidate, Congressman-elect Kevin Kiley, who is a fantastic person. a fantastic person. And I'm very happy it was his vote that did it. But we now won back. This happened just an hour ago. Much criticism is being placed on the fact that the Republican Party should have done better. And frankly, much of this blame is correct. But the citizens of our country have not yet realized the full extent and gravity of the pain our nation is going through. And the total effect of the suffering is just starting to take hold. They don't quite feel it yet, but they will very soon. I have no doubt that by 2024, it will sadly be much worse, and they will see much more clearly what happened and what is happening to our country, and the voting will be much different. 2024. Are you getting ready? And I am too. I am too. I do want to point out that in the midterms, my endorsement success rate was 232 wins and only 22 losses. You don't hear that.
They
from the
definitely make
media.
it seem like all his endorsements lost.
Yeah.
And this is an elegant
big
night
ones.
Yeah.
and an elegant press place, and I'm not going to use the term fake news media. So we're going to keep it very elegant. But you don't hear that from the media, but I think you will because people are starting to see what happened. That's some score, and in the primaries was 98.6%, but they were still trying to blame me. And the reason for the success and that unprecedented success rate is that the Trump administration changed our nation on trade, on securing the border. We're the strongest, safest border ever in the history of our country. On Islamic terrorism, we had practically, just about, not that I can think of, no Islamic attacks, terrorist attacks during the Trump administration. And in fact, we got along very well with the various countries, including coming up with the Abraham Accords. That's a great thing, the Abraham Accords. But it's because of cutting taxes and cutting regulations at the highest level ever, and on building the greatest
Did you
economy.
see he's back in?
Any time in the history of the world, there's never been
Netanyahu.
an economy
He's
like
back
we
in.
had just 2 years
Abraham.
ago.
Prime
Despite the
Minister.
outcome in the Senate,
Oh yeah, I saw that.
we cannot
yeah.
lose hope. And we must all work very hard for a gentleman and a great person named Herschel Walker, a fabulous human being who loves our country and will be a great United States Senator. Herschel Walker, get out and vote for Herschel, and he deserves it. He was an incredible athlete. He'll be an even better senator. Get out and vote for Herschel Walker. We elected a group of incredibly
Isn't it done
talented
already?
America First
have
leaders
to
who
do
will
a,
be stars
runoff.
of
A
our
runoff.
party for many years to come.
December.
In the popular
Neither
vote,
one of them
another
got
thing that's not
50%.
discussed for the House, we must remember that Republicans won 5 million more votes, the largest margin in many, many years, over the Democrats. 5 million more votes, that's a big thing. Breaking the radical Democrats' grip on Congress was crucial. So in other words, because of our great congressmen and all of our great congressmen and congresswomen, we have taken over Congress. Nancy Pelosi has been fired. Isn't that nice?
Yay! The wicked witch is gone.
She ain't gone. She just fired from that role. She's
Well,
still there.
Yeah, but wicked witch.
She's
I
still-
told them, I said, if you just keep a little bit lower standard, you're going to have a big victory. They said, let's win by 40 seats. Let's win by 50. I said, if you win by 2 seats, be happy. But she's on her way to another country right now. She's been fired. But we always have known that this was not the end. It was only the beginning of our fight to rescue the American dream. And it's a word you don't use. 2 words. I don't want to be Joe. It's 2 words, American dream. That was not good what he did. A lot of bad things like going to Idaho and saying, welcome to the state of Florida. I really love it. In order to make America great and glorious again, I am tonight announcing my candidacy for President of the United States.
Finally. We already knew, guys.
Yeah. Not a shocker.
Will anyone challenge him?
Huge.
We'll see. We'll see what this means. I know James was hoping he would say, I'm going to leave this one for DeSantis.
That would have been even more big than him saying that he's running.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's like 2 more years.
So many incredible friends and family here tonight.
What did you think he was going to announce, Mom?
I was hoping he would take over the house.
I told her, like, what are you talking about?
I mean, gosh, we have to wait for 2 more years.
How's he going to take over the house?
I don't know. I was just hoping he would say something like that. Not that.
Our country is in a horrible state. We're in grave trouble. This is not a task for a politician or a conventional candidate. This is a task for a great movement that embodies the courage, confidence, and the spirit of the American people. This is a movement. This is not for any one individual. This is a job for tens of millions of proud people working together from all across the land and from all walks of life, young and old, black and white, Hispanic and Asian, many of whom we have brought together for the very, very first time. If you look at the numbers, if you look at what's happened with Hispanic,
okay, we get the gist. Y'all need to watch it.
Asian,
Nope.
He announced
look at what's
Billions,
happening.
billions,
This is a
Billions and millions, huge. Running for president. See, my mom be on them.
Oh, stop!
She be on them forums,
No,
boy.
I was hoping
Trump's announcement tonight: Joe Biden will be arrested.
I did
Hillary
not say
Clinton,
that.
they're gonna take her mask
Don't,
off.
I can't believe you. I never said that.
The reptile king.
Shut up.
They're making the lizards
I can't
gay
believe
now.
it. I
The
was just-
lizards are gonna be all round up and
shut
slaughtered
up.
in Ukraine.
I was just hoping it would have been 2024.
But what else was he gonna
I
say?
don't know. I was hoping it wasn't that. You gotta wait that long. This country's gonna be destroyed by then.
Hey, not
Hey.
but listen,
No, it won't.
that's why having a split house, a split Congress is important.
Yeah, that's
because
true.
the House can block what the Senate is trying to do and vice versa. So it's actually better that we have this split Congress right now because it helps with the way this country was designed to run.
Right.
You know what I mean? And the people have spoken. Like no matter how much they try to make you feel like this was a loss for Republicans, this people spoken. Like they voted, they flipped a bunch of seats, and now the Republicans control the House.
So who's gonna be Speaker of the House?
I hope not Mitch McConnell.
Oh no, please. I hope
Kevin
not him.
McCarthy, Speaker of the House.
Kevin
Yeah.
McCarthy?
Yeah.
You think?
Oh yeah,
Well,
McConnell's the Senate
McConnell's
majority.
the Senate,
Yeah.
And they're delaying that till after Georgia.
Right, because that whoever wins that determines who has the majority, right?
Yeah.
But is McCarthy like a rhino too? They're all
Yeah,
rhinos, right?
pretty much.
Yeah.
He's pretty much a rhino.
Yeah. He's a younger.
Put Rand Paul.
Yeah, I like him.
They would have had to nominate him, and McCarthy made it out of the the secret vote, so now he's got to go to the full floor.
Secret vote.
Secret.
Yeah, man. So Trump is running for president. Anybody
There you go.
surprised by
Nobody's
that?
surprised.
I am.
You are?
I'm
No,
kidding.
they can't.
I kid.
Supposedly they can't investigate anymore, so we'll see.
Because
how
now that
goes.
he's
'Cause now that
he's announced, yeah.
What the files?
Just whatever they
Anything,
were, all of the investigations they were
What's
trying
up
to,
with like all this investigating him
All the time.
and all the
because
all
they
the
were,
clues on the president and
dude, they were
they're not
trying so hard to make it so that he couldn't run again, which is why, that's one of the reasons why I'm still kind of like, I want to see how this plays out because there's a reason why they want DeSantis way more than Trump.
That's what you're saying.
You know what I mean? There's a reason why they'd rather run against DeSantis than Trump. You know what I'm saying? And because if they thought DeSantis was more of a threat, they would be they would want Trump in there. You know what I mean?
Makes sense.
That's true.
If they thought he was such an idiot, no one's gonna vote for him. All of his they wouldn't be resorting to all of these tactics You know what I mean? But I think a lot of the things that he wants to try to uncover, a lot of things that he wants to do as far as like his ideas with Drain the Swamp, which he didn't really do, but just the ideas of it are the things that they don't want to happen because there's so much collusion going on between the two parties, between these corporate interests, between between what's going on in Ukraine, and now that we're finding out, like it's no coincidence that right after the midterms, this one of the biggest Democratic donors, who is also a giant crypto platform, goes bankrupt. You know what I mean?
He was the second, huh?
This
right?
is George Soros,
Yeah,
and then him.
This guy. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like the second biggest Democratic donor. And when you start finding out the ins and outs, I'm going to show y'all a
This
little
guy
video.
was 16. Was it how many billions?
More than that. More than
controlled.
that. More than that. It's crazy. I don't know if you guys how much have you guys looked into this FTX thing?
I followed it.
You followed it a little bit?
Yeah, a little bit.
So FTX is basically like crypto exchange, kind of like Coinbase, something like that. But it's starting to seem like, well, it's pretty much the case that it was propped up by inflated cryptocurrency, which they had called FTT, which was being pretty much bought by tax dollars and Ukrainian money, and then being funneled back in. It's almost like a money laundering scheme.
Yeah, because he had another company or partnered with another hedge fund.
Yeah, which was his company.
That was his company.
Yeah.
And he was putting up the assets from the crypto as collateral. Or no, from the hedge fund as collateral to the crypto, in the crypto, and then going back to the hedge fund and borrowing from his own market.
Right.
So
yeah,
which you can't do.
So let me show you guys. Let me show you guys a little piece that he put together about him and who this guy is, because he's he's turning into like another Elizabeth Holmes.
I was gonna say, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
the media propped him up.
Oh, like, absolutely. He was on the cover of Fortune magazine, like all that stuff.
But Sam is not a traditional billionaire because he believes
this is the guy.
in the concept.
This is the guy. Look at this guy. Look at this guy, yo. Hey. Just look at this guy. Yeah. He is the crypto billionaire genius that we're all supposed to believe just randomly made billions of dollars in 3 years. Yeah. In 3 years, he became the youngest billionaire in the world and the second biggest Democratic donator in the world. Okay.
His goal as a human is to make as much money as possible just to give it away. Earn to give. And that's exactly what he's doing.
So let's say that you have $100 and you want to figure out what you can do with it to help the world. Earning to give is thinking about which causes, which charities save the most lives per dollar. This $100 can go as far as it possibly can to help the world.
Last year, this 29-year-old guy donated $50
29?
million.
He looks like he's 16.
Next year, he's planning to donate $500 million a year. And next decade, he will probably give away more than $10 billion.
The amount of good that you can do for the future of the world is really large, and it's way more than you can do to actually make yourself happy with anything like that amount of money.
And he is funding everything you can think of. Global warming.
It's one of the biggest problems that we have to tackle together as a world.
COVID-19 preparedness.
We have to be ready for the next pandemic.
Neglected tropical diseases.
More than 1 billion people suffer from them. We have to eliminate these diseases.
Okay, so this is Sam Bankman-Fried.
Dude, that seems like a skit.
Yeah.
Right?
Like a Republican or a,
But let me break it down even further. Let me break it down even further for you. So this is a commercial that he basically paid Tom Brady to come in and film some, like, probably millions of dollars to come in and film some stuff to prop up his crypto, which is the FTT crypto. So he did
What's up,
some
guys?
some
I'm here with
cringy
my boy
stuff.
Sam from FTX. We're at Crypto Bahamas Conference. We're going to start the day. We're going to do some TikToks for you
What's he
guys.
doing in the
And
background?
it's going to be an amazing day. We'll get started. We'll do a get ready with me. Sam, where you going, bro?
Okay, just giving you an idea of this guy.
How they get access to Tom Brady.
So this right here is what's her name? I forget. This is I forget her name, but this girl is the CEO of the firm that they were using to research the crypto, Alameda. Did you read about them?
No.
That was the firm that he started. She's the CEO, but was also his girlfriend and also a part of his polycule relationship that they lived in. It was like about 6 or 7 of them lived in a penthouse in the Bahamas, and they had a polycule relationship. And so that's who this girl is
trying to
here.
think of a good example of a trade where I've lost a ton of money. Well, I don't know. I probably don't want to go into specifics too much with that.
So that's the CEO of the company that was doing the research about the crypto, and his girlfriend, well, ex-girlfriend now. But all of these people are connected to high-powered individuals. Someone did a breakdown of this really well. I'm gonna play it right here. That's what this is. She goes into detail and breaks down who these people are and how they're related and who they're connected to.
Friends, this is going to be a quick one. I'm going to give you a rundown on the whole FTX crypto exchange financial drama.
So
as
just-
well as cover the rather
Just to get an understanding of this is a more simplified breakdown for those that don't understand cryptocurrencies and how these exchanges work and everything.
insidious and bigger story about FTX that mainstream media won't touch. Fair warning, this is such an annoying thing to explain because there's a lot of acronyms, but the recent FTX drama boils down to this. A crypto exchange took customers' money and invested it in unknown assets. And when customers went to pull their money out of the exchange, there was no money. Crypto exchange FTX and its founder Sam Bankman-Fried, or SBF, imploded this week. To put it in perspective, FTX and its competitor Binance are the 2 largest exchanges in the world. Just like with Binance, with FTX, the customer can put in dollars or tokens, and you can trade these tokens. The way these exchanges make money is by charging a transaction fee when you exchange tokens. The transaction fee token that FTX uses is called FTT. It's a utility.
So just for those who don't understand, but maybe you have some on Coinbase or something, you put your money into Coinbase, your dollars into Coinbase. They convert that into Coinbase coins, which then can be traded for Bitcoin, ETH, or whatever. The way they make money is by the transfer fees that you make from converting everything.
Okay.
So if you convert or if you send money, they charge a little like tiny couple cents percentage off of, or maybe a couple dollars based on how big the transfer is. And that's how they make their money. But they also have a coin usually associated with whatever transaction they're making so that you convert your money into theirs. And that's what FTX was doing. They had a cryptocurrency token called FTT.
Token that provides access to the FTX trading platform's features and services. And listen, I know it's funny money, but just stick with me here. Sam implemented a backdoor in the FTX bookkeeping, which let him alter his company's financial records without alerting their external auditors. That means when he transferred $10 billion of customer money to his sister company, Alameda, which he also found.
So Alameda is that company that girl was running, but that's his company also. So he transferred, $10 billion over to that company.
Founded, it went undetected. So early in November, CoinDesk, which is like a crypto publication, ran a report on FTX, which is headquartered in the Bahamas, and showed that basically the company was belly up. FTX had minimal liquidity because its founder had invested its customers' money in a bunch of unknown assets. Most of Alameda's assets were tied up in FTT, the funny money, so neither of Sam's companies had any liquidity. They only had fake money. Turns out the CEO of Binance decided to liquidate roughly $530 million worth of FTT around this time, which signaled FTX's customers to pull out too, and when they all did this at once, FTX saw an estimated $6 billion in withdrawals over the course of 72 hours. which of course it couldn't fulfill because I just told you they didn't have any actual money. And hey, this is a very simplified version of events, but I believe I gave you the main highlights so we can move on to the bigger story. Back in 2019, Biden announced his presidential campaign, and just 2 weeks later, MIT graduate, early life Wikipedia tribe member, Silicon Valley's Sam Bankman-Fried, who is actually the son of Barbara Fried, who's a Stanford professor who happens to be the co-founder of Mind the Gap, a Democratic political fundraising organization based in Silicon Valley.
So that's the first connection right there. His mom is a huge Democrat donor.
Right.
And she started Mind the Gap, which is a huge Democratic donor company.
Sam's brother, Gabe, is founder of Guarding Against Pandemics, an organization that advocates for public investments to prevent the next pandemic. And Gabe was a legislative correspondent for the U.S. House of Representatives and an advisor to large political donors in the Democratic Party. But that's not all. Aunt Linda Fried is an epidemiologist and dean at Columbia. She specializes in aging, and her husband is an expert in HIV/AIDS. They both have strong links to the World Economic Forum.
Bam. Bum, bum, bum. And everyone, when this crash first happened and FTX filed for bankruptcy, everyone was posting how the World Economic Forum actually had them listed on their website as one of their companies. So FTX was up there, a whole page giving their address and talking about how they were part of the World Economic Forum. Now that page is missing. No one can find it.
You can read about them on the WEF's website.
See?
Anyway,
Not
Sam
anymore.
launched the FTX exchange 2 weeks after Biden announced his run for presidency. And somehow, in his late 20s, Sam became one of Biden's biggest donors. He reportedly has become the second largest donor to the Democrats right after George Soros. FTX was an overnight success and made Sam very rich. At his peak, he was reportedly worth $26 billion. And he'd even gotten celebs like Tom Brady and Giselle to promote his crypto exchange. Investment firm Sequoia Capital invested $213 million in Sam's company, only for Sam to turn around and invest $500 million in Sequoia Capital. And not only that, but FTX purchased...
How does that work? You invest $213 million in me, and then I invest $500 million in you. Does it sound like some kind of money laundering?
Just 30% of Anthony Scaramucci's Skybridge Capital. Once Biden was in office, he appointed Gary Gensler as the SEC chair. The daughter of Gary Gensler's boss at MIT, Caroline
Boom. So that's her name, Caroline. So his daughter, who is the girlfriend of this guy, who was running the research company, is the daughter of the guy who's the head of the SEC right now.
Nothing to see here.
Who is in charge of all of the regulations for crypto.
Ellison is now the president of FTX's sister company. That's quite a web that's being woven when the SEC, or the Securities and Exchange Commission, is supposed to be protecting investors. In theory, they're supposed to be fair and not corrupt and impartial and all that. But I digress. FTX's head of ventures is Amy Wu, who used to work for the Clinton Foundation. And I'm undoubtedly going to butcher some of these names here, but it is what it is. FTX's policy and regulation head, Mark Wetchen, served as Obama's commodity futures trading commissioner. And there were reports that FTX wanted to spend over $1 billion on the Democrat Party for 2024. According to another report by CoinDesk, the Ukrainian government launched a crypto donations partnership with FTX in March
Here we go.
of 2022. FTX was converting donations into fiat for a deposit at the National Bank of Ukraine. Aid for Ukraine was the official initiative that...
So FTX was the one that was allowing people... Because remember in the news they were saying, like, people can donate with crypto to Ukraine for the war.
Yep, I remember
FTX was the platform that was announced that was going to be used for this. So they were transferring donations into fiat currency, which then be pushed into the Bank of Ukraine.
raise funds from the crypto community for the benefit of Ukraine's military and humanitarian needs.
I didn't
Quote, the
donate
Aid for
shiggity.
Ukraine effort utilized FTX services to convert crypto funds received into fiat and send the donations to the National Bank of Ukraine, ultimately becoming the 5th largest charitable foundation assisting in the country's war effort. End quote. Let's just get all our ducks in a row here. The foreign aid that the U.S. government sent Ukraine was then put into FTX. And I just told you that the way exchanges make money is by transactions, so FTX made a ton of money from the U.S. government sending our tax dollars to Ukraine, and Ukraine partnering with FTX, which Sam Bankman-Fried then turned around and donated to the Democratic Party. For the mid
So again, the exchange based off a percentage makes money off of how much you're transferring. So if you send $40 million, but through FTX, that transfer fee is going to be astronomical. So then FTX makes that money and then uses that money as campaign donations for the Democrats.
Susan's back here.
Exactly. So you're
terms
basically
alone,
sending
Sam
money to
gave
Ukraine to then
Democrats
funnel
$40
it back to.
million from his now bankrupt crypto exchange. And it's pretty suspicious that the downfall of FTX happened right after midterms. To summarize and make sure we have this right, you, the taxpayer, give your hard-earned money to the American government. The American government turns around and gives it to Ukraine, and Ukraine runs your donations through FTX. And then the FTX founder takes your money and gives it to the Democrats. So do you think Democrats will give back this tainted money after this whole scandal? Totally a rhetorical question, but I think it should be demanded of them. It's only fair, you know? But in all seriousness, I think the Sam Bankman-Fried character was set up to fall. His whole rise was too manufactured, too quick, and now his bankrupt company sets up the perfect example for people to demand federal control of cryptocurrency and trading.
Exactly. And so that's what a lot of people think the big takeaway from this is. Not only was it a way to launder money and funnel it back to the Democrats, it's also a way to add strict regulations into a decentralized currency like Bitcoin or something like that. And then what's funny is, so right after that, this article came out. FTX says it may have been hacked and $600 million in crypto mysteriously drained overnight. So have no idea where that's going. Well, we know that was the, and so here's this article. The SEC chairman, who we know is that girl's father, he's discussing crypto regulations following the FTX drops. And then I think, here goes our press secretary chiming in about it.
Without proper oversight, cryptocurrencies, it risks harming everyday Americans. So this is something that clearly we monitor and that we see as an important issue. But the most recent news further underscores these concerns and highlights why prudent regulation of cryptocurrencies is indeed needed. The
Bigger
White House,
government.
along with the relevant agencies, will
Again, we create a problem. We give you the solution. We create a problem that benefits us, that we get rich off of, and then we give you the solution. Now, check this out. Jordan just sent me this a couple hours ago, which I thought was pretty interesting considering everything that's been going on. So Wells Fargo, MasterCard, and the Fed team up on a digital dollar. So they're trying to they're teaming up to create a centralized federal digital currency.
China.
Exactly. China already has one. So they're trying to do that here. Now, what better way to do that than to show a system that can be easily taken down? And then you say, well, now we need to regulate it. Yeah. Several big finance services companies have joined up with New York Federal Reserve to announce a 12-week digital dollar program. Yeah. So, I mean, it gets a little complex, but it's just another example of how a lot of these systems, they're being set up for a long time before we even realize it. Wow. And they're being used.
Plan, reaction, solution.
Yep. Yeah. And it's so involved. someone on Twitter was showing how even after the collapse, FTX has a higher ESG score than ExxonMobil. Because they're part of the WEF.
Yep.
Ain't that crazy?
Their score has to be high.
Yes.
That woman that was explaining it, right?
Yeah.
FTX, is she gonna be alive soon? I mean, next week or something.
She'll be fine, Mom. Mom, you gotta stay off them channels.
And
Mom.
stop it. You know how many people are die from talking about stuff like that?
Remember when I sent you guys this video? This is a polycule. Doesn't it always seem like the same type of people?
They look so weird, dude.
Like evolve themselves in that lifestyle. But like, look at him and his girlfriend.
Yeah, no offense.
Like how
not attractive people.
these are like the nerdiest. So crazy. But yeah, when you start looking into that story, man, it's so like, yo, who's the dude that's always on talking about stocks that gets real animated?
Jim,
the bald-headed
Kramer.
yeah.
He propped him up, was calling him the new Rupert Murdoch or somebody.
This guy.
Look at this. Look,
He has all that money. He needs a haircut.
that's part of his thing, man. This is a clip of them asking him about his donations and if they should be uncovered. Just watch his body language.
What you're saying is maybe there's some donations that you have made that you wouldn't make if you knew they were going to be immediately public? Like what you're saying is
Why is he
maybe
shaking
there's
so
some
much,
donations
dude?
that you have made that you wouldn't make if you knew they were
Oh,
going to
look
be
at him.
immediately
He's
public?
shaking a lot.
Like what you're saying is maybe there's some donations that you have
I mean,
made.
I do that.
No, but
My
that's,
leg.
Dude,
but
he
that's like-
is shaking like crazy.
Yeah.
Maybe that's just a nervous tick of. I mean, he seems socially awkward.
He does.
It's just, it's a crazy story, man. So I had to share that with y'all
That is.
because all of that unfolded last week. Like this company was a multi-billion-dollar company. Everyone, this is why it's being compared to Elizabeth Holmes, because they were saying that they had all of this crypto that was backed by real money,
Right.
but it turns out that there was no money there at all. Like they were just.
Well, they got to do this kind of stuff if they want to change the way we use money and the future currency. So they got to almost these fly-by-night billionaire guys, people jump in because everybody's so interested in making all this money and it comes crashing down. So then if they introduce a federalized currency, they'll put in there all the regulations, what you can and can't do with it, so to avoid this. And then they'll use these guys, these fast billionaire in 2 days.
Yeah.
They'll use these guys and scare people.
And he takes the fall for it,
Yeah,
but he's
yeah.
young enough where his dad probably talked to him because his
Yeah.
dad's like an MIT guy.
Right.
Like all these people are connected to
Sure.
government positions. They probably told him like, look, son, you're gonna have to take the fall for this.
Yep.
You'll do some Fed time, maybe 2 years.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? It'll be
House arrest.
yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah. But this takes me back to when I started to look into the actually from what you told me it was called The Creature from Jekyll Island.
Yeah.
And it was about the formation of the IRS. And,
Yeah.
how this was formed.
And the
stuff.
Federal Reserve.
Yeah, the Federal Reserve.
Yeah.
Not the IRS. I'm sorry, the Federal Reserve.
It's all the same.
and when you look into what they did and how they were able to, because they were so much more smaller independent banks.
Yeah.
And then they crashed it on purpose.
Most of the presidents before, like Woodrow Wilson and who was the guy that Roosevelt, they were totally against a centralized banking system in this country,
Right.
Because they knew what it would cause,
Right.
because they were popping up all over the world,
Right.
but they were against it here,
Right.
But
this is sort of the same thing, but 100 years later.
exactly, but they realized that the crypto market was going to decentralize currency again, because everyone's popping up with different forms of currencies that are used for different things, and people are starting to see the value in it.
Right.
People are starting to see like, whoa, it makes more sense for me to have a little bit here and Bitcoin, a little bit here and Ethereum, a little bit here, and I can use it for this or that. So how do they fix that?
Yeah.
You
And then
know?
the sanctions, when you talk about worldwide.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you put sanctions on the country and they go in the crypto market,
Then there's
no
not
way
the
you
sanctions
can't
have
say-
not no say. But you know who supposedly had a lot of their money in FTX?
Other
El
than
Salvador.
Ukraine? Oh, yeah.
Remember
Oh,
El
yeah.
Salvador was like
Yeah.
they were saying how they had massive amounts of money in Bitcoin,
Right.
but it might have been FTX Bitcoin, which didn't exist.
Wow.
So everybody who like bought Bitcoin off of the FTX exchange got, all that stuff is just evaporated, man.
Mm.
But don't you think this ties in? I mean, look, I get we need money, right? But you know what it says, right? The love of money.
Mhm.
You know, because we love it so much.
Yeah.
Because these things come along, and it's like it's a way we, the public, view it as a way to amass wealth quickly.
Yeah.
So we jump into it because
Mhm.
it becomes this. I can retire at 40. And
Yep.
I can, because this stuff is promoted to us.
Mhm.
So when we see these things come along, we're almost primed by it and geared up to do it. And not a lot of people I saw the thing about this dude. I don't look into this stuff.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't know this stuff is going on. They
I had no. As soon as I started seeing like the articles, and you know how Twitter is, like, so I'm on Twitter seeing the
See, I'm
articles
not in that
about
space, yeah.
about FTX going bankrupt, and I was
Yeah.
like, oh crap, like this is crazy.
Yeah.
And then in the comments, you start seeing everyone breaking down what happened,
what happened,
and it's
right,
like,
right.
oh, okay, this is deeper than.
And what I'm trying to, and I understand what you're saying, but what I'm trying to get at is this: these kind of things are happening because of the flooring human beings to love money
Mhm.
and wealth, and they're running to this stuff.
Get rich quick.
And
Yeah.
it becomes a thing, and it's what's trapping us all. You know what I'm saying? Because this 29-year-old that just wants to give his money away, he wants to make a lot of money because he's got to seem philanthropic.
Right.
I'm just doing it for the world.
Right.
You know what I'm
right.
saying?
I'm gonna give all my money away.
Right.
Bullshit.
You know, and they set him up to be benevolent.
Yeah.
And then they crash him and make him look like, because all of these kind of things, it's two-part for them. They get to show the young billionaire he's enthusiastic, but he doesn't know what he's doing.
Yeah.
So you need to trust us.
Right. Andrew Tate did a little rant about it, and he was like, he said, I made a lot of money in my life. He said, I've been around a lot of people with money. He said, anytime I'm around somebody with money who looks like they never spend money and looks like that they put on this facade like they don't care about money, they just want to give it away.
Mm-hmm.
He said, I'm always skeptical of those people because those are the people that really want to hoard it and
Right.
keep and
Sure.
those are the most greedy people.
Yeah, and he's, in my opinion, he's right.
Yeah.
But that guy, the weird T-shirt coming
Yeah.
to work,
Yeah.
guy,
Yeah.
the
The
I
awkward-
ride a bicycle to work.
Yeah.
I'm a multimillionaire, but I have torn sneakers.
Yeah.
You're right. It's become a symbol.
Yeah.
To me, I don't care about this. I'm
Right.
doing it for the passion
Right,
of everything,
right.
but they care immensely.
I want to help climate change and the insects and
Right.
what was the thing in the
Right.
video? It's like the dying insect population.
Right.
I'm gonna give billions of dollars.
Because
Like
people-
meanwhile, he's funneling money back to Joe Biden
Right.
the whole time.
Right, right. And because people, here's what it is: we respond to symbols. So we see it, and they tell us, "This guy, look at him. He's
Yeah.
not flashy or nothing like
Right.
that."
He's
Because-
unassuming.
Because think about it, right? The very thought they have of him is the opposite of what they see a rapper.
Yeah.
Gold teeth,
Right.
bling. That
Right.
guy's irresponsible.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that guy loves money. He only cares
Right.
about money.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's a symbol, and
Yeah.
and people are responding to it. You know what I mean? It's like I'm in retail. I remember this, right? To get people to come in, they would do this. They, I used to work for. I could say that name because they're out of business.
Yeah.
Kmart.
Yeah.
They used to, when you guys remember when the GPS first hit the scene,
The Toms and the navigations,
and the Garmins, and stuff like that, and everybody wanted them.
Yep.
They were huge, right? And the flat screens. Well, Kmart didn't have that much of a buying power as the other stores. They had dwindled down to nothing.
Yeah.
And they were trying, and the guy who bought it out, Lambert, was trying to reinvent it, the blue light special and stuff. And I remember them saying, "Hey, we need security on Black Friday, et cetera, et cetera." Like, what's going on? Well, we have regular skirts. Well, like, listen, we printed these ads, buy one, get this, but we only have like 10 per store.
Yeah.
Right? They knew they were going to only get a limited amount because that's all they could get. Well, what they were going to do was they're going to wait till people get there and then hand out tickets, and the first 10 people are going to get it. But hey, guys, Now there's hundreds of people in line. They will buy other things.
Yeah.
They didn't come there for that.
Nope.
They came there for the flat screens or the Garmin or whatever, the GPS. Well, of course it turned into chaos.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But they set that up.
Yeah.
The head management set that up. And I feel like on a larger scale, this is sort of what's happening. They know that people are going to respond. They see this. Everybody wants the world to be a better place.
Yeah.
For the last 20 years, all we're hearing is green, green, green. So people want this. So you see this guy, and he's got this crazy, he's in a T-shirt. You respond to it. You like it. You know what I mean? And then there's nothing. You know, and then he goes, you know, or whatever happens to him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's what these stores used to do. They used to get you hyped.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They know you're going to come out. And then you get in line, and oh, sorry, and then the manager would come out, and she'd be like, "Can you walk outside with me?" And I'm like, out there, like,
yeah,
sorry guys, we have 10, but come on in, and then, and they would people would go crazy.
There's 150 people in line. We only have 10 TVs.
They would go crazy.
But we have a bunch of other sales.
We have other things going on, like this tour right here.
Yeah, right.
You know, and that's what it is. And so they'll set this kid up. And they, you know, and maybe he knows, or maybe he's going through the role because they're like, listen, you're gonna get $50 million after this, and you'll go away.
He became the richest, 20-something ever.
Yeah, so you gotta take the fall for it.
He knew.
Yeah, sure.
He knew, but he was getting them perks. He's living in the Bahamas in a penthouse.
Right.
You know what I mean? With all his polycule, just having orgies. Send
him up to a black country. Destroy it.
No, but it's the taxes. It's the taxes.
I know.
You know what I mean? It's a tax haven. Like they can. This is what they do. Why are all of these? Why are
send
all
him
of
off
these?
to Africa, but the African president, we do not want you here with your polyamorousness. We do not want you here. Go away.
This is a sickness. Therefore, it is deviant, and we do not want it.
You can ask the question many different ways. I'll tell you one answer. No.
Yeah, that video you sent, I was confused. Like how she was explaining, the relationships. Like so they all don't sleep with each other. It's just some sleep with.
Bro, it's just chaos. It's chaos. Yeah. It's chaos.
And then they have.
You're talking about the polycule.
Yes.
Please know this. What's so funny to me is that proper English society went around for years and talked about the native indigenous people as being savages.
Yeah.
They have multiple wives. And 200 years later, their kids are now going down the polyamorous life.
But for me, they always have a look, though.
Of course.
You never see like
right.
Yeah, like
they look
socially,
like the liberal.
socially normal, like attractive people
right.
in these relationships.
Well, then if you gotta bang those ugly idiots, you're like, screw this. Nah, it's sad, man. It's sad because like I think aside from us joking around about it is this. What I see is, what has been told a long time ago by Manly P. Hall. He said, plan, reaction, solution.
Yep.
And that's what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? They've planned this. They're letting you react. They're letting the public react. And then they have the solution. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's what it is. And that's what this whole pandemic was about. You know what I mean? It's gearing you up for certain things.
Speaking of that, I want to show y'all something. real quick. Just take a little look at this performance. This is from the 2012 Olympic ceremony in London.
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
Why are they sitting there waving at a bunch of kids in a hospital, in like a giant hospital? And the nurses are all dancing around. Kids are not, like, why is this an opening ceremony for the Olympics?
Yep.
It's like some weird predictive programming. So someone put it up against like what was happening during COVID. Like it was.
People are dying in the rooms and nurses are dancing.
But remember all them TikToks of nurses dancing?
Yeah, I remember that.
NHS.
They were heroes when the dance was going on. Then they didn't take the vaccine.
Right.
Get out of here.
Right.
You're fired, everybody.
NHS. it's just creepy. Like 2012.
Yeah.
What was the point of this?
Yeah.
I have no
Well,
idea.
don't you think that, like, well, we've been talking for a long time, right? Like, you know, George Carlin said this. If you think, I mean, if you, I'm paraphrasing, probably messing up, but he said this. He said, Walmart gets together and have a Monday meeting, converge. They're converging on similar ideas. If you think that powerful men and women, multi-billionaires that go to the same schools, go to the same country clubs, their kids interact, they're all from the same alma mater, don't get together and plan the next 10, 20, 30, 40 years, something is wrong with you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because grocery stores get together, have a monthly
Yeah.
meeting. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Your soccer team
Yeah.
gets together. If you think these multi-millionaires aren't sitting down like, how do we keep this going?
Yeah.
And you think billionaire corporations with
They don't plan this stuff out.
they don't sit down and say, hey, listen, you'll get this, I'll get this. This is how we work. If you think that's not happening, and there's no, and you feel that's the coincidence, we can't have a conversation.
Yeah.
You know, because that is exactly what is happening. You know what I mean? And it's not limited to the United States. It's a global thing.
But the sad part is there's so many people that would be like, oh, that's nonsense. That's
Right.
nonsense. Why would they do that?
Right. I don't understand. Some people just aren't there. But it makes sense to me in that way where that's what would happen.
Yeah.
Once you have multi-million-dollar, when you look at the farming industry, you look at the medical industry, you look at all forms of, you know, generative money income. How do these people keep that going for a long time? They're not talking about 5-10 years. They're talking about hundreds of years.
Yeah.
You know, to stay in power. You know, when you look at these things, yeah, why would they not have the same interests? Why would they not? Maybe it's not going to be exactly the same, but why would they not care? Why wouldn't Pfizer, Moderna, and what's the other one? Johnson & Johnson.
Yeah, Johnson & Johnson.
Get together and say, okay, I'll have this market, you'll have that market. You know what I mean? We're competing and we want to win, but here's something on the horizon. We'll split this.
Yeah.
This has happened before. You know what I mean? And it has happened. You know, I'm in the car world. I remember GM and Ford got together to build a transmission and share it.
Right.
And these are two opposite companies. They compete with each other, but they had a interest, and that makes sense businessly. But from the standpoint of like global control, I don't think they'll do that. Why wouldn't they?
Why wouldn't they?
Why would they do that?
It's delusional to think they wouldn't.
You know.
Yeah. So, Dave Chappelle on SNL.
Yeah, I saw that. That
Brilliant.
Was, oh my goodness.
I'm not gonna play it because we will get hit with copyright from NBC Universal.
Yep.
But I have it freeze framed on one of the moments
frame.
that I thought was interesting.
Freeze frame.
So he basically said, if they're blacks,
They're in a gang.
they're in a gang.
Italian?
If they're Italians, they're in a mob. And then you can check out the rest for yourself.
Yeah. If they're chosen people,
we don't talk about it. It's a coincidence.
It's a coincidence.
And don't talk about it. But no, he's under fire for his comments, man. He's under fire. Like, they want him to apologize. I saw a bunch of articles saying that Dave Chappelle's monologue wasn't funny and it's disappointing and blah, blah, blah.
But the jazz singer, brilliant.
What jazz singer?
You ever seen that?
No.
So somebody brought up, they were talking about, it's in 1927.
Yeah.
It's a Jewish actor doing blackface. It's been memorialized in Washington. It's revered as one of the best films.
Really?
Pull it up. You'll see the jazz singers.
Okay.
Right? Somebody laid this out. They were talking. That's still on Amazon. That's still on Amazon Prime. It's on platform. It's a movie about blackface. And it's a Jewish actor doing it.
The spoken words that caused a sensation in the jazz singer. Is this it?
I think this is it. I don't know if this is where he's doing blackface, but
let's see if we find it.
Well, with me it's all right. I'll kick you and hug you, see if I don't.
I don't think it's on there.
Mama, stop now. You're getting
That's what they say.
that's the 1920s Mid-Atlantic accent.
Yeah.
But anyway, somebody pointed out if you could find.
Oh, there we go. Mammy.
Yeah, that's it.
Bruh. What?
Yeah.
Sunshine east and sunshine west, but I know where the sunshine's best.
And nobody, and they're not apologizing for that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. No one's gonna make them apologize. Well, you can't say them. Whoever produced this film,
Whoever.
whoever's involved in
But
this.
somebody pointed out the hypocrisy of offense because he is a Jewish actor.
Right, Al Jolson.
Yeah, Al Jolson.
Yeah.
And that was revered. And like I said, it's been memorialized as
I remember
art.
seeing it
You remember seeing
when I was
this?
younger, yeah.
Yeah. This was very popular. You know what I mean? You know?
Interesting.
You know, and so someone pointed that out and they were talking about, oh, you're not going to get the backlash. He has not been, you know, I mean, yes, it's a long time ago.
Yeah.
I don't think black people even care about it. But they were pointing out the hypocrisy of they're offended.
Yeah.
They're offended. But this, it's art.
Right.
It's subjective.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
you know what's interesting is like everyone's been posting that interview with Dave Chappelle and Oprah where he kind of breaks down what happened when he left the show.
Yeah.
And there, when you hear it, there's a lot of similarities
It
to
is.
someone else that's under fire right now, and talking about how when he wanted when he noticed it was like coming to an end, people were trying to make him think he was crazy and like actively telling him like, yo, something's wrong with you. You need to be on medication.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I think you're losing your mind. Like telling him that actively.
Yeah, I
You know
was
what
watching his trainer is the one that's put him in the hospital.
You talking about Kanye?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh.
I'm talking about Dave Chappelle.
Oh,
I'm
well,
saying,
but I'm talking-
But this
yeah.
is what I'm saying. So this is what I'm saying. I'm saying like there's a lot of parallels there. Like when he was bucking against the system, back when he had that show,
yeah, Chappelle show.
and he said he felt like if you watch the interview, I don't know, somebody can find it. Like if you watch the interview where he's telling Oprah like he felt like something was going on because they started releasing stories in the media that weren't true about him like having pneumonia randomly, and saying like he was having writer's block, like, and he's like, where are they getting this from? But it's all coming from inside the camp.
Sure.
Releasing these stories to the media, and it was right around the time for renegotiating his contract. You know what I mean? And he's like, something's going on here. And then they started making him think he was crazy.
Right.
That's crazy itself because I was watching that thing with the trainer and they showed the email.
Yeah.
He told Kanye, if you keep speaking about this, you're going to be in the hospital for like forever.
No, he said, I'll have you recommitted and put you back on medication, and you'll be in zombie land for good.
Zombieland for good.
Yeah.
Trainer told him that?
Yes.
Yeah.
And he's just a trainer.
So the interesting thing about the trainer is the trainer has been the trainer of the stars for years, right? But he's also connected to the CIA.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Which is weird. It's just a weird coincidence. Like he's connected to the CIA where he used to have a government job, and now all of a sudden he's a trainer to the stars. But he also was the trainer for a bunch of people. And yeah, Kanye actually tweeted out the text message back and forth where he was saying like basically admitting to the fact that he's the one that got him committed the first time and told them like he called 911. Told them to come get Kanye because he's crazy, put him on medication, and then leaked that to TMZ the first time.
They said they put him on lithium, all these different drugs. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah. And then told him he was bipolar, you know, after they medicated him. So then he, I guess because of everything that's been happening recently, he was texting him back and forth again, and he said, if you don't sit, he said this could happen one or two ways. You can either have a conversation with me and we can talk about all the things you've been doing and you stop listening to your dumb friends or things you've seen on Twitter, or I can have you recommitted, put you back on medication, and you can be in zombie land forever. And then he said something like visitation with your kids will never be the same.
Yes.
Like he said that in the text.
Horrible.
You know what I mean?
Horrible.
And it's like, so that's what kind of sent Kanye into the spiral of now I gotta go crazy on these people. You know what I mean? Because he's looking at who this guy, who the doctor was, the media, the TMZ media, you know what I mean? Like all these people that are colluding in his mind against him to make the narrative that he's crazy and take away his family, take away his kids, you know.
But you see what's wrong here? I mean, aside from the, can I say the word?
I mean, I don't know.
I'll say. All right. Aside from, I'll say chosen.
Yeah.
The chosen. I think if this has to stop, I think celebrities or certain people have to speak out.
Yeah.
About the corruption. Forget that group. I'm talking about the corruption that happens.
Yeah.
Or the bullying.
Yeah.
Back there.
Just you can even say just in Hollywood or in the controlling circles of the entertainment.
They gonna do that though?
No, that's what I'm saying. They're not, because I'm sure this happens more often than. Okay, like for instance, look how quickly the Me Too thing took hold.
Yeah.
Right? And that was because of this. There was a lot of females that, albeit their career was done, they were willing to speak out against it. You know what I mean? There was a lot. Now, I get that it took on a silly, and it went a weird way with Alyssa Milano and all the stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I believe a lot of those women. Now, the context of it and what they were doing to get, I get all of that. But I do believe that casting couch, you got to do this to do this, that is real. You know what I'm saying? I believe that. They were willing to speak out about what was happening. Yes, there may have been certain things that they were promised that they didn't get, and maybe they were trying to get roles and they had to do that. I get all of that. But still, that was still something happening here. What we have here with the black celebrities is they are now willing to say, that's my story is similar, my story is similar, my story is similar. They're not willing to do any of that. You know, because they are afraid of being either castigated or their money being taken. But there was a lot of female actresses that did come out, and I was like, that does make sense. You know what I mean? Without going into the silly antics and stuff. I think if you have enough people saying, hey, listen, this is happening. You know what I mean? But what they're afraid of is losing their clout or their money or their connections.
Right.
So they'll shut up about it. And they'll be like, whatever. So it seems like Kyrie and Kanye, the two idiots that are just flat earther and a vaccinator and a guy. So they've already put that out there.
Yeah. That was funny when he said Kanye got in so much trouble, Kyrie got in trouble.
Right. So, and then you have, and the problem with this is this, right? When you try to speak on this, we have the last few years, Nick Cannon.
Yeah.
You know, who was the other one?
Ice Cube.
Ice Cube. We have a couple of, so it just seems like these kooky, weird black guys that say this stuff. So it seems crazy.
Yeah.
You know, and let's look at Nick Cannon. There's a bunch of kids.
He just got another one.
So when you start seeing this kind of behavior, it doesn't seem like a legitimate source. It seems like here's a crazy guy or whatever it is. Kyrie is like a flat earther or whatever it is. Like, I don't have a problem with none of that. I'm just saying that they love this kind of stuff because then they get to like discredit this person.
Yeah.
You know,
Is
and
he a
that's
flat earther?
He is, yeah.
Who, Kyrie? Yeah, he is.
And he's an anti-vaxxer.
Anti-vaxxer.
So they're gonna. That's actually one of the skit Dave Chappelle did on SNL was that all the blacks at a barbershop and there was a white guy, and everything they're saying he's saying the opposite of that.
Oh,
you know, it was part of the skit.
From this weekend?
Yeah, from this
I didn't
weekend,
see any of the skits. I just saw.
I'll send it to you.
Yeah.
So because none of them have very few black celebrities, like even Ice Cube went out and said, "Hey, they ain't got nothing to do with me."
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So it seems like you're crazy.
Yeah.
You know.
I see an article right here saying that Dave Chappelle tricked SNL producers by giving them a fake monologue during dress rehearsal.
Right. No, that's not true because they would if that was truly they would have cut that. They'd have been like, click.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, isn't Lauren Michael?
Yeah.
He is, right?
Yes.
Yeah, he would not let that happen.
No.
Right.
But it's the Trump thing was funny though.
Yeah.
Like even though he mixed in.
But he had to go back. He was losing the crowd. He was losing the crowd.
He was because it got a little awkward. But I'm saying like the part where he talked about like why Trump was so loved. And when he actually like made some points
He did.
for Trump.
Yeah.
When he
Yeah,
was
he
saying like
did.
how
Oh, he gets it.
Yeah.
He understands it.
Even Don Jr. brought that up. I saw a video of him talking about him.
Yeah.
And how, and if it was so bad, why would he talk about it?
Right.
They call him honest liar.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, he said he was honest liar, but he talked about how he exposed, and we've said this so many
Oh,
times.
yeah, yeah,
like,
he
he
did.
exposed how the game was being played.
Right. He
When
was
it-
the first person to do that.
Yeah, to say like even before he was up against Hillary, because that's when
This is when
everyone
yeah,
else
yeah,
saw him.
yeah,
When he was in the primaries, and he was like, "I gave every one of you guys money. I know how this
Yeah.
works.
I know it's rigged.
Yeah,
Because I've used it.
Yes.
But I know it's not going to change
Yeah.
because you don't want to lose this opportunity.
Yeah.
And that's fair. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Yeah. Like I said, Joe Rogan on his podcast talked about all the Democrats that are multimillionaires.
Yep.
You know, and yeah, we know that there are Republicans doing it too. We're not saying it's right.
Yeah.
But we're just saying these are the people that pretend to be, I'm like you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right. We're against the millionaires. Yeah.
Did you see? Speaking of that, did you see that guy got fired? NBC reporter that reported the initial Pelosi.
What? He got fired?
They let him go.
They let him go. The one that they took down?
Yeah.
When the guy that let it slip that Paul Pelosi answered the door.
Uh-oh.
And then went back towards the assailant.
Yeah.
Wow. Of course he got fired. And he's a black dude. Reparations, man.
Oh, man.
Wow. Yeah, I thought the Dave Chappelle thing was interesting, but it's just sad that like even that is considered anti-Semitic. What he was saying.
Of course.
Because he said there's two words you can't put next to each other. Yeah.
I mean, listen, Charlamagne the God asked Leo Cohen about pumping a certain thing towards the young black youth, and he said, "Yeah, but I got a family to feed."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So you don't care about other people, but you care about your own.
Right.
This is clearly what he's saying.
Yeah.
I don't care that it's happening because it's not really affecting young Jewish kids. It's affecting black kids. I'm not saying they're necessarily responsible because I've told you what Charleston White said.
Yeah.
You wrote
those songs.
and you brought it here.
You don't think a businessman's going to keep putting them out if that's
Right.
what's selling?
Right.
It's just like whoever runs Bravo. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's
like,
consumerism. You know.
Yeah,
what I mean?
do you think he
it's funny.
cares that black women are being portrayed as like
No.
ghetto, crazy,
he doesn't care.
ratchet women? No, he's going. This is what what are the ratings saying?
Yeah.
If black women stop watching it,
Right, because
they
it's
would-
funny because
they
like
would get
Bravo was
canceled.
known for like theater and art.
Yes,
Bravo
yes.
was like a artistic channel, wasn't it?
Yeah, it
like
was. It was all about
theater, the
like
arts and stuff like
that, right? The finer arts,
And now it's about champagne tossing.
Yeah, right.
And food.
Right, and breast implants.
Right.
B-
So yeah, you're right.
BBLs.
They're benefiting from it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We participate in that. But I feel like a lot of the celebrities that have similar stories won't speak out because they've built a kingdom around themselves.
Yeah.
And they'll be it's like what was happening in slavery, right?
Yeah.
There was some slaves that were in the house.
Yeah.
And their life wasn't as hard as the ones out in the field. And if there was a revolt that was going to happen, they were like, well, this might not go well for me.
Yeah.
So who's going to more likely tell on the revolt or on the plan is the person who has the most to lose.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's what the celebrities have become. You know what I'm saying? Especially the black celebrities. They've become a slave to money.
It's funny because Charlamagne called out Leo Cohen in that interview, but then there's another interview of him trying to talk about like that there's a certain group of people that run everything.
Yeah.
And then he's like sweating. He's like, I don't even want to talk about this no more. Like I'm getting uncomfortable. I think I played that on here too, right? Yeah. He's like, I'm getting uncomfortable. I don't even want to talk about this.
Well,
no more.
you start looking into these contracts and how they're designed. They're designed to trap you forever.
Yeah.
Forever, ever, ever. And where did this come from? Where does this stuff come from, right? They own your likeness. They own everything about you.
Yeah.
The songs, everything. Shaq said I didn't realize Shaq was doing music and stuff. They said Shaq was on music. He said
he
got
put
a
out
bill
a
for
couple albums.
$300,000 for a thing. He's like, yo, it was for studio time. He's like, it was in my house.
Yeah.
And they refunded it back to him.
Right.
Like, oh, we made a mistake. My bad.
Because that's what they do.
That's what they do.
They just assume that you're gonna pay that because you're like,
right.
Oh, we can. So they can overcharge for everything.
Yeah. Guys, we want this album to be great.
Yeah.
Really? Yeah. So listen, here's what we did. We need you guys top tip. So we're sending you guys off to South Africa. It's a beautiful studio. Mick Jagger owns the studio.
Right.
Get down there. It's relaxation. It's boat rides. What?
Yeah.
Food, everything catered. We just need you prime. But this album needs to be a hit.
Yeah.
So go down there, write this album. Go ahead. All right. It is a hit. Now you come back, you're like, dang, we selling millions? Yeah, here's your 2 cents.
Right.
What?
Right. And then
What?
they give you this long bill for everything.
Yeah.
That's what happened to TLC.
Jamie, remember when you guys were auditioning for America's Got Talent?
Yes.
They were trying to give you a terrible contract.
Yeah, they wanted to lock us down for I think it was 20 years.
Right. And what Dave Chappelle has said before is this. What we don't know is this. The lawyer, your advisor, your accountant, your manager, they're all on the same team.
Yeah.
Albeit a different. This is a good deal.
This is a good deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Take this. You know what I mean? Because you don't know who they've gone to school with, who they're friends with.
Yeah.
You don't know because this is not a circle you're in. So when he did that it's not a joke, but he did that thing about the card. Was it what's that called?
The full card Monty.
Full card Monty.
Yeah.
And he said he was there and he was wanted to gamble.
Yeah.
And he was watching, but he didn't know that the part of the crowd was in
on the joke.
In on the joke.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
They're in on the whole game. Even the guy that you're watching win, he's in on the game.
He's on the game.
Yeah.
So you don't know that.
Yeah.
See, if we don't understand that, so they have trapped a lot of, especially lower income, poor people with talent, because once they flash money, they fly you out private jet. You
Yeah.
got a Bentley waiting for you. How are you not gonna sign?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
New edition.
Yeah.
And now all they got to do is this. Now all they got to do, I'm talking about that, the agent type world is this. If they get a pushback on people, what they'll do is the next kid that comes along, they'll give him the most ridiculous contract that you ever heard of, $multi-million, the biggest contract ever signed, to rope people right back in.
Because they'll be ready to give it all up again just to get that sweeter deal.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, man.
So you got to change the product.
Yeah.
So do you think that they'll be able to cancel Dave?
No. I think they may force him to apologize.
Yeah.
And I think some of the comedian friends, well, certain people will do it. But I think we live in an era where Dave is unique. If it was the 90s and social media didn't exist, yes. But I think there's a direct-to-consumer likability or transactional kind of thing that's happening that it stops them from ultimately canceling you right out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's too many people know him. Too many people
respect him, and
many
especially
respect him.
comedians.
Yeah.
Like you said, comedians might say something to him. I doubt it, bro. Like
I've
think
heard a
about
couple that's on the
who
Judy Gold.
Oh, well, I'm talking about people that are respected.
Who is that?
I'm talking about people that are respected, bro. Like Joe Rogan loves
No,
Dave.
no,
He's never gonna say nothing.
And
Well, Andrew Schultz ain't gonna do the roast like he did on Kanye against Dave. I guarantee you.
No.
You know what I mean?
When they understand what Dave represents too.
Yes.
They can't go quote unquote DEFCON on Dave
Yeah.
because Dave is doing what all of them essentially were kind of tiptoeing around. A
Yeah.
couple, but the ones that are doing it are like they're not really selling out arenas per se. You know what I'm saying? Dave is the only one that's doing it, and he's doing it brilliantly. Dave's ability as a comedian he's grown exponentially to tell a story, to rope you in.
He's top tier when it comes to that.
Right. Because what he does is he ropes you in and then he gives you something that you didn't see coming. Like the abortion thing.
Yeah.
If you have the bill, if you have the option to kill him, I should have the option to abandon him. My money, my choice.
Yeah.
And here's the thing: you can say that's idiotic, but from a comedic standpoint, it's genius.
Yeah.
Because it takes this debate that
And
females have.
Yeah. And not only that, it's like, which one is worse?
Which one's worse?
Which one is worse?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's like,
and here's the thing. Now I'm seeing Bill Burr. I'm seeing Andrew Schultz.
Yeah.
Everybody has a take on it.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So Dave Chappelle is too important for the comedic world.
Yeah.
That
and that's the other thing. I don't think black people are gonna abandon him like they did, because Kanye had did so much other foolishness. Plus, with the conversation about Jewish people, he tied in George Floyd and
Hey,
Trump
I was
and
gonna say he wears the red hat. So
yeah, so he's
White Lives
so
Matter
so
t-shirts.
black people are ready to throw him to the wolves no matter what.
Yeah.
I don't think they're ready to do that. First of all, Kyrie was a stretch. Black people aren't really on board with canceling Kyrie.
No,
Dave
no.
Chappelle
I don't think Kyrie
is a definite no. So it's like, because I have seen a lot of articles saying like, Dave Chappelle had a chance to, build a bridge between the black community and the Jewish community, and instead he decides to drive a bigger wedge, like all this dumb stuff.
Right.
You know
Who's
what I
writing
mean?
that?
Yeah. It's like it's not, so it's, instead of him feeling like it's his responsibility to tell the truth from what he's seen and things that he sees happening and his take on things, it's like, no, what I need to do is just say the thing that they want me to say, so that we can get along.
And for me, I'm a big fan of the comedic arts, but I also like the obscure. And last week you guys talked about Patrice O'Neal.
Yeah.
And how good
I
he was.
I played his whole thing about he's got the Jewish mafia.
Right.
You know what I mean?
So
he compared it to a prison yard, which was hilarious.
Of course. And you see, the thing is, I think for me, when this is stuff I've been hearing a long time. Even though Dave is doing something that seems revolutionary, it really isn't.
It isn't.
This is something that I've heard a long time. It's just that this is now
the climate of cancel culture and
changed.
Political correctness has changed so much. That people will not go there.
Well, I think part of it too, from the comedic standpoint, is this, right? In order to get the HBO specials and certain specials that we grew up on, which was bigger and blacker, and something, there were certain things you could talk about that was well promoted. The stuff that the underground, these are the comedians that were really, really good, very good, awesome, but they just weren't polished enough. They just didn't have that set that we saw, bigger and blacker, all this kind of stuff, like the first Dave Chappelle, Kill Him Softly. Patrice O'Neal he's a guy like him, he was more underground. He really took off with the Opie and Anthony.
Yeah.
Them bringing him on.
Yeah, and his last special.
Yeah, Elephant in the Room
really blew him up.
Yeah, and then these videos of him just speaking to the audience.
Yeah,
So this has been going on for a while. You know what I mean? But the comedians like Kevin Hart, he's not gonna tell you what's going on because he's got way too much to lose. He's got and once they set you up with like your own production company, you got your own smoothie, you're doing American Express commercials, you're selling shoes, you're selling pies, you're doing this, you're doing. You're not gonna.
Well, that's He talks about that, Dave. I'm not gonna get a sneaker because you can take that away from me.
Exactly, and that's what it is, and that's where the black celebrities, especially the ones that are very liberal, they have work themselves into this position because let's be honest, most of them are first generation out the hood. This is a lot of money. There's a lot of lifestyle change. You got your mom went on working at the train station to now she's like got a multi-million-dollar house. Your sister, your brother, your cousins, you're not going to speak your mind like that. Very few, maybe Kyrie might be the first, or certain people. But even him, like once he starts going down the world, the trope of like flat Earth and this, they're like they actually look forward to that. Certain things you just keep to yourself. You know what I'm saying? Because now they're gonna be like, oh, hey, that's the flat Earth guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it discredits everything you say.
It discredits everything you say. So to me, I look at it and I see, because the other celebrities aren't willing to speak out and say what's going on because they have so much to lose, it will be Dave on an island. But the good thing is we do live in a time where, because of social media, that's a nice island to be on because people are now endeared to because they're like, wow, this guy's actually brave enough to speak his mind. It's just like this, right? When Dave Chappelle did the joke about Jussie Smollett. Come on. you know when black people felt like that?
Mm-hmm.
Only a couple were like riding with that. That
Yeah.
made no sense from the beginning.
Yep.
But the fact that he was willing to do it and talk about it
Yeah.
in a satirical way,
Yeah.
that's a lot of people felt like that.
Right. I mean, the fact that he was willing to like kind of praise Trump in an underhanded way, because
Yeah.
even the audience kind of didn't like that. You know what I mean?
They did.
They liked the joke about we found out that he was colluding with Russia. They laughed hard on that one.
Right.
You
Right.
know what I mean? But
Well, it's a liberal. It's a liberal New York.
Yeah, it's New York, yeah.
You're not gonna praise Trump.
But I'm excited. I'm just excited to see what the reaction to it all is going to be and see how like.
Didn't he start it off with this is how you get by yourself some time? And he
He apologized.
Yeah.
Any
No, I mean, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to, any comments?
No, we don't have any comments.
Nothing?
Everybody's turned out. They heard choosing people. They're like, bye.
No comments.
No, like I said, you know, Kanye West, kind of like, to me, he's not, I wouldn't call him crazy, but he leaves himself wide open for interpretation. You know, so to me,
He's
it's
done
like,
a lot of stuff though.
Courtney commented, said, "I'm listening." LOL.
You know, with the whole Taylor Swift thing and the George Bush.
No, I get it. I get
stuff
it.
And
I get it. But still, here's the thing, right? Like, for me, with him, he's more of a provocateur.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And he's ranting incoherently and stuff like that. So it's not solid ideas. You know what I mean? He's not really laying it out. He's just kind of complaining about his life and the things that have happened to him.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? And he throws in there what's going on, but it's like kind of, you married Kim Kardashian.
Yeah, right.
What were you expecting?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You made that choice.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I can't feel sorry for you entirely because a lot of this stuff you kind of did.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you put on a shirt and you know it was going to draw a certain attention and you got that.
Yeah.
Whether good, you have to accept it. You can't throw, a flash grenade in a crowd and then they catch you like, I was kidding, guys.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? No.
Yeah, I think the attention for the shirt is not what he even got in trouble for. Again, it was his reaction to.
No, I'm talking about for black people.
Oh, for black people, yeah.
They were like,
yeah,
you know what I mean? He was done.
Well, he was already. I mean, he was hanging on by a thread.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
No, look at the video.
Was he really though?
Yeah.
Like they'll talk ish, still wear his ugly ass
Yeezys.
Yeezys and
Yeah.
ugly space shoes.
Because that's just a part of culture, man.
Yeah, part of culture. Yeah,
it just becomes culture.
I gotta get that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta get my shoes.
Yeah.
I still can't believe how expensive they are.
I know, man.
You know,
it's like you want to make clothes for your community. Stop charging them so much money.
Well, and that's the other thing too. It's like he's talking about that, but
Yeah.
you're doing the same exact thing,
Right.
Overcharging people for our shoes.
But does he set the price? I heard him say something about like he wanted them to be cheaper.
I don't believe that.
I mean,
He
I
brags
don't know.
about being a billionaire.
He
How
does.
you gonna-
He
how you-
does.
you ain't gonna be no billionaire selling $25 shoes.
Yeah.
You
Ain't a
know?
billionaire no more. That was the funny part too, where Dave took his chain back out.
Pull your chain back out.
Yeah.
But see, the thing is, he's talking about it, but he's also part of the problem with massive consumerism within our community.
Yep.
Right. You're selling this stuff to your community, and you're pimping that same thing. You're just mad at the hand you're dealt.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you want us to be. Now I get it. You know what I'm saying? But I just feel like yes, you talked about buying land, but you're not showing people how to do that.
Yeah.
You're talking about fashion.
Right.
This is nothing.
Fashion, clothes. Yeah.
How is that going to help the black community?
Right.
Spending your paycheck here buying Yeezys or whatever it is.
Yeah.
That's not going to help nothing.
But that's been his MO from the beginning. Like he'll do Jesus walks and then he'll do, some booty shaking thing. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Or he's at Fashion Week or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's part of it too. I mean, listen, I understand that, look, people want to look good, but Shaq said, one thing he said a mom talked to him about.
I was just thinking about Shaq.
Yeah.
I was literally thinking about Shaq, about his sneakers.
Yeah.
About the story. You're about to tell the story about how
The mom?
The mom was like, how dare you, charge so much for your sneakers. And he dropped his deal with, forgot what.
Reebok, I think his the Shaqnosis. I remember them Jones.
And then, sell his sneakers for like $25.
Yep.
Just so that the kids.
Yeah,
can
anybody
afford
buying
it.
that?
But again,
Yeah.
look who set those prices, though. See, that was Reebok.
Right.
You know.
Well, they're using the likeness of the celebrity.
Well, what I'm saying is they're gonna base it off of what they can get market value. You know what I mean? So sometimes it isn't. You know,
It's not necessarily them all the time.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I don't think the way he presents himself, he's not selling something of that. He doesn't really, he's trying to elevate himself in a certain status.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And he knows that within a certain segment of society, that ability to stunt on, to get the new shoes, to do that, he knows that people are going to be lined up around the corner.
Yeah.
They know that. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
They understand. He understands that. You know what I mean? So we are participating in that foolishness too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I ain't got a pair of it. I know somebody who does.
Stan.
Yeah.
Stan's sleeping over here.
No,
Stan's ready to go.
His son.
Oh, your son? Your son got Yeezys?
No, well, they're no, they came from somebody.
Oh, okay.
He has them now.
Oh, okay. I got you.
All right, I got a couple just libs of TikTok videos before we wrap it up real quick, just to end it off on a cringy, funny note.
Stan and Moan both took a nod. I saw Moan over there.
Yeah, I saw Liv
I
earlier.
saw you taking one too.
You did?
Earlier.
I'm Ginger
Yeah,
Fluid.
listen, I was worried. I was like, oh, God.
Thank
Oh,
you, Mom.
During the
'Cause
crypto thing.
Because I saw it too.
During the crypto thing.
Yes, yes.
All three of y'all.
Yes, I saw it.
This is me.
Trying to teach y'all about finance. We don't know nothing about literacy. They don't teach us about how money works. Start trying to teach about how money works.
I was going to say, wake up. But then I said, no, I don't want to embarrass him.
I was losing it.
All right, let's check out this clearly mentally sound individual right here.
Go for it.
I'm Gender Fluid. Woo! Yay. For me personally, I never use she. I just never feel feminine, and not once in my life have I felt feminine, and so we just don't know feminine. No, but I do fluctuate between like all of the other genders, and I was just like, woo. I do usually have bracelets, or I put it in my bio, or not bio, my description on the video I'm posting to specify what pronouns I'm feeling that day, and so you can look there. I do use, so the pronouns that I do use are he, they, ze, and fey. And so the last two I said are neopronouns, and a lot of people don't know how to pronounce them, and it's totally okay. And so I love when people ask, because then I can say. And it's respectful, and they're not being homophobic or transphobic, and it's a vibe. And so the last two, you pronounce the first one, fey fair, and so it's FAE/FAER. And you would use that one to be like, oh yeah, can Faye come too? Or, oh yeah, their favorite ice cream is vanilla. I don't know, stuff like that. And so that's how you'd kind of use it. And then the other one is Zizem. It's spelled X-E.
Okay, I'm done.
Nice.
Where's your father? Where is your father, bro? Like, what are we doing? Like, what's going? This is a crisis, man.
Yeah.
This is mental health. Like, why are we capitulating to this delusional way of thinking?
But people are watching it like us.
We're watching it too.
Yeah, but she's
Get far
people,
away.
more people watch.
No, we're not watching it on her platform. This is curated from someone else. So we're giving Libs a TikTok views. This guy
exposing it.
So another thing about Sam Bankman-Fried was he was a avid vegan, if you couldn't tell from his great shape he was in. But I thought this was hilarious because this was a vegan on their TikTok live stream.
And those emojis honestly should be illegal. I've been emailing Apple every single day to remove the meat emojis from the iPhones, and they're not doing it. I don't know why they're not doing it. I've been emailing them every single day to stop putting the meat emojis in the phones. Like, it should be
People are
illegal.
trolling
It's
him with meat
offensive to me, and
emojis.
it's triggering to people like me who are vegan. It is so triggering, and I don't know why they don't take them off the iPhone because they're so triggering. They're so triggering.
Gosh.
Yes, and
This is
so
fake.
No, it's not, dude. That's how bad it's getting. That's how bad it's getting.
Oh my god.
You remember the Starbucks?
I don't know. I've never encountered these kind of people. I don't know how I would react. I'm generally at a loss. Like, if I run somebody and they're like trying to tell me what a FIFO and a ZEM and a Z, what? I don't know what. How do you even react to
He
someone
almost
like
acts like that guy from what that was working at Starbucks. Or something.
That's what I was saying. It's the
Oh,
same type of.
gosh.
It's over stimulation into a life of privilege, where it's like everything you want, you have access to. So you have to find a reason why, something to complain about, and it becomes the most ridiculous things. This person is complaining about meat emojis,
Yeah.
bro.
Yeah. No, let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
All you guys. Do you think, because I'm starting to believe this is extremely rare, but
Mhm.
because of social media, it seems like there's more of it. I don't think there's a lot of people like this.
I mean, I think in comparison to when we grew up, it's way
Of
more.
course. Of course.
I
But we
think
grew
it's
up-
I think it's becoming a huge problem.
Yeah. But
maybe with social media, they're seeing it, and then it's becoming
think about it,
more
right?
of a-
No, I get it. But I'm saying in the 90s, man, if can you imagine if y'all had iPhones and y'all were like trying to copy 112, y'all would be in there doing shirts off. Girl, lay it
Yeah,
down.
we would.
Right.
But what are we getting at here?
I'm saying, I think this is just kids with cameras that just
But it's not only kids; it's
Yeah,
adults.
it's
But-
adults. I think it's just a different generation.
Dude, the teachers are teaching this to the
No,
students
that's true.
as well.
No, I agree. I'm just saying, I don't think because I haven't seen these kind of people out. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I see a couple of.
I mean, I see.
Yeah, weirdos.
I see.
But they're just think about that in high school.
That's what I
Some
mean.
of these schools have to cater. They have to give cat balls.
Yeah, that's true.
to
Well, you
students.
go into
It has changed.
You go
It has
into the
changed. That's
manliest
true.
places like Home Depot.
I'm laying tile.
Yo, when we were in school, man, like you would have like the goths. You would have like
We had that.
Yeah, that's
you would have
that's our generation.
You
Yeah,
would,
yeah.
you would have
Right.
like the people that like were in their little clique of weirdos,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And that's what they were considered.
Right, but I'm
So
saying
now,
give them a.
so this what I'm saying is now
Mm-hmm.
they've cultivated an environment where you have to applaud them and
Sure.
praise them
Yeah.
and also
Go along
feed
with
into
it.
their delusion. So if you had the little group of kids that were like pretending they were vampires, right? And we would all laugh at them like, look at these. So now we have to actually act like they're vampires.
Yeah.
Right.
And
Oh,
we have
no.
to, and we have to,
Don't bite me.
right,
And
right.
you're hateful
And we have to
if
like,
you don't
yeah,
do it.
Yeah.
right.
They're putting blood in the cafeteria.
Yeah. They're serving little trays of blood for them, and the teacher has to turn the lights off in classroom for the 3 students because they
Right.
can't handle the sun. You
Right.
know what I mean?
And
we
my
all
next
have
question is, when can I be Blade?
no, Blade is an oppressive vampire phobe.
But he's black.
He's a vampire phobe. Okay, he
I
kills.
need to be Blade.
He's bringing violence against the vampire community. So that's the difference. Is
No,
now
I get it.
now we're creating an environment where we're
Yes.
feeding into
maybe
the
that's
delusion.
so okay. So maybe that's what it was. Maybe that's always been there, but we created an environment, and actually, to me, it was done through sports, which is started off with the everybody wins thing.
Right.
Yeah.
If everybody's feelings,
Yeah.
everybody, because that's really where it took
It didn't
place.
start with sports, but sports I think is an extension of it because it's been that idea of everyone special.
Right.
It just
Not
it
the
ju-
'90s, right?
No, that didn't happen in the 90s.
Yeah.
It
So,
started
okay.
happening in like
Mid 2000s.
late 90s into the early 2000s is when I started noticing that like everyone gets a trophy vibe.
Right.
Everyone's special.
Snow plowing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So the coddling my feelings
Yeah.
behavior began through what? Sports, entertainment,
No, no. I think it just happened through parenting, bro.
I
Like
was gonna say parenting because these are the same kids that needed their ketchup separate.
Well, what I'm trying to get at is this. I don't think that happened in school. I think it happened with these. Okay, someone was telling me this at one of the soccer fields over there. They were saying that a lot of this happened when the privatization of private coaches and parents had to pay for better. The parents were like, we pay you, so we need you to do this. Versus you couldn't go to the school and tell the wrestling coach and the football coach what to do.
Right.
But once it started to get privatized, to get to
college.
No. You know, like this private thing, and it was like my feelings. We're spending this money with you, and he was telling me like how a lot of the people quit because parents would show up and like they're not getting enough ball time, they're not doing this. But in the schools they couldn't do that.
Right.
You know? But once it started to get to like my soccer program will get your kid to this, my football program, my dancing class. Once it started to get to that where it became it was taken away from the schools and more promoted towards like make your kid better. Then he was telling me that how parents they would come and they would get angry because we're spending all this money with you and our kids aren't getting this, and they felt the need to like
appease the parents
because there was a lot of money coming through, and he was like, "That's really what happened." So
yeah, but even that points to the parents.
Yeah, no, I get it.
So the problem is like the way parenting changed.
Right, it did.
You know what I mean?
It did,
so
but
you're looking at like people that kind of grew up in the kind of 70s, early 80s, and then started having kids, and because they probably had parents that were like boomers or the greatest generation or whatever, that was like their hands-off parenting. They were left to their own device. They felt like no one cared about them, so they went far left and said, I'm gonna do everything for my kids.
No, I agree with that.
So,
I agree.
So I feel like it starts with only because, you know, kind of started seeing somebody who's kind of in that field, and the learning and the educational, these people are like learning, and then they start getting roles in society.
Yeah.
You know, and then words like what am I about to say, Jamie? My love language.
Oh, love
is
language. Yeah.
This, you know, my feelings. We don't do things to kids.
Huh?
I'm falling asleep.
I didn't get you.
The bugs got you.
We don't smack
certain
kids.
terms. Yeah.
Our generation. You know.
Yeah. No, I've heard that too.
Her generation, the way, you know,
This-
she
yeah.
raised us was
Yeah.
different.
Yeah.
You know.
No. What
punching you in the face.
Yeah.
Making you choke
your own
on your
blood.
Right. No, I get it.
Oh, Simone,
Now
I told Junior that he started laughing. I sent him a message.
Right. No, I agree.
that's
I'm
what
saying all of it, but what I'm pointing out is this. Once there was a financial thing, the people felt the need to placate to parents, those parents that would come in, the snowball parents, because they are spending money, and this is a business, and we have the, you know.
Yeah, but the amount of parents that can afford those private coaching lessons is
I don't
so
think-
small.
Yeah.
Like that wouldn't have a overarching societal impact.
No, it
in
wouldn't.
that way.
But what I'm saying is, I know that not every parent would afford that. And
Most don't.
most parents
Most
wouldn't
can't.
do that.
Yeah.
But think about the parents that could.
Yeah.
They would feel the need to speak up.
Oh yeah,
you know
that
what I mean?
it's entitlement. But what I'm saying is like, it's just it's
the societal shift.
Yeah,
no, I get it.
It's more a symptom of.
I'm not saying it's the only thing.
Right.
I'm not saying I narrowed it down to that. I'm not saying that. I'm just telling you.
I think it's a collection of everything you guys are saying. So you're talking about the psychological, like the psychotherapy classes that people are taught, and then these people become teachers.
New language
Right.
coming out, like
and it become people write these books about where we went wrong in parenting, and and then they do these seminars on what is the proper way to talk to a child, go down to their level,
And the
treat
shows
them like
of the
an adult.
90s.
Yes.
The shows of the 90s, yes.
Yeah,
I agree.
So you start infecting culture with this idea that the way we used to parent kids is wrong, and we have to take
It's
a new approach.
Yes, a more therapeutical.
Yeah. And maybe not allowing kids to compete against each other isn't a good thing.
Yeah.
Maybe schools not having the kids feel like they're in a competition is a good thing. So it's like you constantly
a conglomerate.
Yeah. So as these kids get older and they've never been challenged ever in life, they've been protected from everything.
Right.
So once they become a teenager and there's these natural challenges that start to arise, especially in school, where you start figuring out where you fit, and if you feel like you're not getting the attention that you used to get as a kid, because a lot of these kids get so much attention as a kid, once they become a teenager, that they don't know how to handle it. The fact that people stop caring,
Right.
So now they're like, well, what can I do to bring some of this attention back?
Sure.
I mean,
and there was a time when if your kid wasn't good at something, you'd be embarrassed, to go tell them, play your kid if he sucks.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There was a time.
Oh, yeah.
What's his name? Maniscalco. John, he's a comedian. He did a bit about him playing basketball.
Yeah.
And he said, my dad brought out all his friends. He's like, you stink. He's like, we had your whole family here. Get off the court. And he went and apologized to the coach.
Yeah.
He said, get off the court. He's start a business.
But no, and these guys
Sebastian
can tell you.
Maniscalco.
Yeah, Sebastian. Okay. Yeah. But Jake Moan, anyone who coaches can tell you, parents are delusional now.
Right. That's what
so
I'm saying.
their kids will be terrible, and they'll be like, he's the best. I saw it just doing the little camps I did with Ivan. The kids that don't even want to be there, their parents will show up to pick them up.
He's really good. He's eating the turf.
Yeah, no, that's what they. No, he's real. I think he's gifted at soccer. He's like one, and you're like, they doesn't even know how to kick the ball.
That turtle crawling around is better than him.
Yeah.
No, I'm not saying it's all it is. I know it's a conglomerate of everything.
Yeah.
But I'm saying, from the business side, okay, I'll give you an example. I'm talking about the music world.
Yeah.
Once American Idol took off, the become a star. I used to drive around and I would see on little plazas, dance classes.
Yeah.
They would have the American Idol logo. They wouldn't have American Idol.
But you see, the thing about it is you're seeing it from the perspective of that's the first time you're actually noticing it. But I'm saying just from my perspective, growing up here,
sure.
And in the 80s with Star Search and what was all the other my mom was obsessed with those shows. She would watch them all the time.
And I'm sure it was at that time.
So what I'm saying is it comes
Showtime
in
at the Apollo.
It comes in waves.
Yeah.
Because in the 80s there was all of the karate class and you know what I'm saying?
That's true.
And now you see that popping up again because of Miss Martial Arts and the new Karate Kid show. I'm seeing all these karate classes popping up again.
Jiu-jitsu.
And it was so you see it happen in waves. You know what I mean?
No, I agree. I mean, you're right. I didn't grow up here. I came in the 90s. But what I did see is after the American Idol hit, there was a resurgence.
Absolutely, a resurgence.
Of
definitely
dance classes.
Yes.
Be a this, be a that.
Yeah.
The trade school I went to, they got rid of the carpentry program, and it's a dance studio.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So there was a promo, and like you said, it comes in waves. But I think part of that, as we're complaining about the changing of society, we also not doing, not necessarily us, but in general, we're not saying the people who are looking at these things as a monetary gain don't realize that they're participating in their own demise.
Yeah.
Because they just look at it like, we'll just take these people money. We'll promise Johnny's going to be the best singer, dancer.
Right.
He stinks. But
and when it doesn't happen,
whatever.
Oh, well.
Hey, whatever.
Yeah.
We'll set you up with headshots. We'll
Right.
do this. Remember that girl that used to work with Liz
Taniqua,
right?
yeah.
The modeling thing,
Yeah.
and I drove them there,
Yeah.
and the lady comes out, she's like, "Wait a minute, I'm 5'8".
But we all
I'm not that
in high
good
school.
looking.
Remember the modeling recruiters? They would get all of us in high school.
I'm
and
telling
they
you, she
tell
did
you to
it.
come to some office building in Mount Laurel somewhere.
Literally, exactly that. I'm
Yeah.
sitting. I drop them off, and she comes out, and she's like, "Turn to the left."
You're like, who, me? Okay. I'm about to be a star. Tyra Banks, I'm coming.
Listen, she brought me back there, and I'm like, all right, well, check it out.
Yeah.
Listen, $2,000 for headshots
Yeah.
and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I said, girl,
It's
That's
a
all
money.
they want.
It's a money
That's
scheme.
all.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you, dude, there were so many people that were there that they
Yeah.
were like, turn to the right.
Yeah.
Walk this way. And they know what they're doing.
So think about that. So that we saw that pop up in like that was like probably like 1995, 96, 97 when that really started blowing up again, and people made a bunch of money off of that, and then
Yeah.
those companies disappeared, right?
Yeah.
Then Tyra Banks comes out with America's Next Top Model,
Yeah.
and you see another resurgence of that,
Yeah.
like popping up everywhere,
Right.
because this is
Yeah,
how
so-
how stuff happens. It happens in waves. Like something blows up in culture, and everyone tries to chase that thing.
That's what I'm saying. I think this is what this is, in the sense of they want to be known for something.
Yes,
You know,
absolutely.
They want to be known for something.
Right, and you have no other discernible skills, so you just
I gotta be.
you come up with some new pronouns,
A them, a bem,
some
a
neo
gem.
pronouns.
Yeah, I gotta be that. But what I'm saying is that there is a monetary factor that creates this. I can make your kid better. I could do this. I could do that. And so
Yeah.
you want this dream to come true.
Yeah.
You know, after this is done, I'll tell you guys something. that's
Okay.
happening. But I could make you this, and you spend all this money because you don't want to crush your kid.
Yeah.
And these people are right there waiting. We
Yep.
could make Johnny
Yeah.
into the next whoever, whatever, some other star, and he terrible.
Yeah.
You know, or she's
Yeah.
terrible. You know what I mean?
Well, I'll tell you what. Instead of signing up for that modeling agency, you could have just did this. Back.
I did sign up for the modeling.
Oh, you
shit.
did?
No, crazy. I got listen, $2,000.
Pull this up,
I was
Mom.
trying to
If
put on
you really,
mufflers
if
on
you
my
really
car.
wanted to be famous,
Can we skip to the good part?
you could have just went for a Miss America.
Oh, I sent you guys this.
Yeah, Mom, you see that?
What was
That is a beautiful woman.
That is a boy.
That is a beautiful woman being crowned for Miss America. Some
Is that a guy for real?
Dude, that is a man.
Yeah, that's a
Well, boy, that's a boy. These are young women, and they're all being beat out
Right.
for a beauty pageant.
When was
First
this-
of all,
can we go to the swimsuit?
Bad as heck, man.
Bruh, first of all,
Swimsuits are
So
degrading.
not only do you get to just infiltrate the women's pageant, but we really not gonna keep the same beauty standard. Like,
Right.
like, we really just gonna let
At
you
least be
just
good looking.
You really, yeah, you look like Jabba the Hutt right there. Look at that.
That's
You
crazy.
sure that's not Kim
Whoop 'em
Jong Un?
Gangnam style. Whoop, whoop.
Well, it's almost 11
Or whooping
o'clock.
Gangnam Style, dude?
Yeah, dude, is that?
Oh, my
That's a terrible
gosh.
picture.
That's
Terrible picture.
horrible.
Yowzers, man! Wow.
Well, I think it's 11 o'clock. It's time.
Mom. Mom,
Jeez,
we've had enough of your suggestions.
Listen,
Okay,
I've been here all night.
all night.
I'm falling asleep.
Right? Man.
Oh,
See,
okay.
this is-
You're gonna last longer. Okay, no problem.
No, we can wrap it up. It's done.
Wrap
It's
it
done.
up.
It's sad, man. Like,
yeah, that
This-
shouldn't happen right there.
Yeah.
I feel bad for the women, and they should be insulted.
Yeah.
The kids.
You know, like
all the girls look like they're like,
Yeah,
we're
they're-
supposed to clap for this, I
Well,
guess.
they probably just set that up. I mean, it's not like he probably won for real. I think they set it up.
Of course they did. It's all
Right.
set up. Like this
Yeah.
isn't
Right.
this is something that the judges vote for, you know?
Yeah.
This is like, Bruce Jenner becoming
Getting
a
Woman of the Year.
Yeah, Woman of the Year. The
Yeah.
first year he
Wasn't even a woman for a year yet.
Yeah. Should feel
Woman of all time.
should feel, should
That's
feel-
like the wrestling men and women. Like that's ridiculous.
Oh yeah.
not even wrestling, MMA.
MMA.
Oh my god.
Bashing.
Crazy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the worst part is I think that one Joe Rogan talks about it. They
They
don't
did ban
they
her.
don't let them know
Yeah.
that they're fighting.
A
Oh my-
biological
that's
Because
thing.
he was saying,
horrible.
people are entitled to do what they want to do
Yeah.
to get a thrill, like bungee jumping or skydiving.
Yeah.
You know, if you
choose to get in there,
you know that's a biological
Yeah,
male.
combat sports is not. Nah, you don't do that.
Yeah.
Francis Ngannou versus.
horrible.
Oh God.
Yeah.
I just saw in a cyclist just entered as a biological male against women and blew them all out.
That's just not fair. you
Yeah.
know?
Of course.
But then the women have to be the one to say something.
Yeah. But if we're all gonna,
So-
just pretend again,
I mean, Bill Burr did a brilliant joke about the WNBA.
he did.
Y'all didn't
He
support
did.
that.
Yeah, all
It
you
wasn't my
feminists,
job.
all you feminists are the ones that don't buy the.
So if y'all don't want them in the sports winning, because they're not gonna beat them.
Yeah.
So if you don't want them in there, say something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It is what it is.
I saw another comedian. He's a smaller guy. He was in like a club talking about Brittany Griner.
Oh.
And he's like, he said something about like, it shows how no one cares about the WNBA.
Yeah.
And then, of course, like some of the women in the thing were booing. He was like, okay, what team does she play for? And everyone was quiet.
Yeah. I mean, it's so easy. It's so easy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because it's fake. It's come on, cut it out.
Yeah.
You don't care about that girl.
Yeah, man.
You know what I mean?
How about that transgender person?
Mom, we're wrapping it up, okay?
Let me-
Don't
let
keep
me-
trying to add stuff to the show.
How about that transgender?
What conspiracy
There
are
was-
you telling me?
What QAnon
What
board
QAnon
did
board?
we
Just
see
shut
this?
up. The one that was trying to teach women how to be a woman, and he's a freaking man.
Dylan.
Dylan Mulvaney. Is
Oh
it?
my
Yeah,
goodness.
yeah. He's only he was
with Bruce.
He was only a man. I mean, a woman for 200 days at that point, trying to tell women about what it's like to be a girl.
A
Yeah,
caricature.
That's
How do you say that word?
Caricature. Yeah.
Of what he thinks a woman is.
Right. Yeah.
You know, emotional.
Yeah.
It's a shame, man. A sickness.
It is a sickness.
It is a sickness.
Therefore, it is deviant, and we do not want it.
Deviant.
All right, guys, let's wrap it up. I appreciate y'all for coming through. Recapping this election week, all that craziness. I appreciate you guys learning a little bit about crypto and the FTX thing. Y'all keep snoring when y'all bank accounts is wiped out. Don't say nothing. Don't say nothing, man.
I could hunt. I could fish.
Yeah, we converted that.
All right, guys. Appreciate y'all for watching. Make sure you hit the like button, share the video. Also, sign up for the Patreon, please, because we got to get this algorithm going. Patreon.com/YoungLionTV. Also, if you want to throw a couple dollars, hit the Cash App, $YoungLionTV. And Jatan.com for music. We go to Norfolk, Virginia this weekend.
Norfolk.
We're going to be back on Sunday morning, and then we'll talk to you guys next week on Tuesday. Appreciate y'all.
We love you guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Young lion gon' live, yeah. Young lion, you rich, yeah. This kingdom has room, yeah. Go and fight people in.